having a shit fit.
I'm gonna go back to my Discord, but I'll come stop by later.
Yep, cool. See you soon, Hank.
Yep, no worries. Have a good stream, guys.
Bye.
This is...
Right, all I want to do is turn the volume down. Oh my god. I just want the YouTube video to be quiet.
Not turn it down on YouTube itself.
No, because YouTube's not open, it's a direct browser input. This is the thing. Right. Is there a way to do that?
Hello.
US trying to stop the second round for the girls? Is that the dude?
Oh dear. Who
Right.
invited this dipshit?
Let's pop that across. We're getting to enjoy T-Pain talking about things.
Does not look like T-Pain.
Oh, it's not T-Pain. Sorry, I just glanced up while I was loading things in. That is very much definitely not T-Pain.
Yeah. Dude, T-Pain's actually a cool dude.
Yeah, T-Pain seems like a nice guy. I just really want to be able to turn this down. It's driving me insane.
I actually have a question for you. What was the model type of Beecham's car again? It was a Mustang, what was the number?
S195, isn't it?
I think so.
What the fuck is Dylan Hughes, look at that!
Hey, did you get your royal purple?
It's the same. It's the same style that Josh Oxley really loves.
Yeah.
So hyped.
So for anyone who's just coming back in, I've sorted my technical hardware issue. I'd managed to mess up the battery pack that was in the camera, so welcome back, hello, welcome along. For those of you who missed the things from earlier, basically our review of the top 32 was me having an angry rant about FD in particular, and it's an S197, thank you. An angry rant about drifting in general and FD in particular, and now I have made myself a maple iced latte because I'm a posh bastard, and I'm going to be more caffeinated, higher in sugar, and probably more angry. So that's what you've come to see, is me raging about the quality of drifting in the US right now. It could be fun.
Yay,
It will be fun.
It'll certainly be a thing.
If you hear a head smacking against the desk with just a bunch of random thuds, that's me. Don't worry, I'm fine.
Yes. I'm trying to separate out the audio source from...
Oh god, now I'm trying to remember what model Justin Pollock's running.
What? It's the S550. Is it? Yes, let's go. More rage. Good idea. I'm going to bring more rage.
No, I'm actually about to rage. He better not be.
Go on.
No.
There's a lot of talk about additives, and Royal Purple has its proprietary Centerlick technology. It is fortified with a high level of zinc phosphorus anti-wear additive for exceptional protection.
say it already.
Bakari's saying that he saw a Huddy
racing
racing
wall for maximum
logo
horsepower
on Jonathan Castro's
Royal
car,
Purple HPS.
which means if
Race car
Huddy's back,
technology.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Huddy Racing has no business being anywhere near professional motorsport. Fundamentally, they're a bunch of shysters who kept on saying they were going to build cars for people, not providing anything that was any good, not actually following through on their promises for various drivers, not delivering cars on time, delivering cars that were broken, delivering cars that had no business being at a high level of motorsport, delivering cars that were probably on suspect parts. I mean, the list is...
Pat Gooden actually showed up to an event. Not sure if his car was going to come in, and Dylan Hughes showed up to an event and his car didn't show up.
Yeah, like they are just.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Huddy Racing, bring me the rage.
Mario,
And here we are back once
Stop.
again. Oh man, the lights are coming on, the sun is setting, and the stars are
I wonder
showing
if I
up.
can do this.
In more ways than one. The stars on
Are
the
you able to
flags,
change the color of the
because
wheels?
our national anthem opening ceremony.
Aha! I found a way to turn it down.
You will be able to change the color of the wheels as well in the showroom.
Yeah, I've separated it out by making it so that... Can someone say something just so I can check some levels?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the right level of oh yeah-ness. So now I've managed to get rid of the... I've managed to get rid of the audio from OBS, which it was picking up from the input, and I've now managed to get it so that that's separated out. So we are there. We're going to watch a man sing a song.
That most of the people in America have forgotten the words to anyway. Or wait, no, they actually sing the national anthem, not the Amazing Grace. Keep forgetting that.
The fetish your country has for its armed forces is really concerning.
Dude,
Sometimes I
You-
honestly
you
feel
say
like
that.
America's just a giant cult.
no, here's the worst
No,
part
it
about
is.
this. You say that, yet they can't. They have to fucking advertise to get people to join in. That's the crazy thing.
Right, I will turn that up a tiny bit because people are now saying they can't hear it at all. Let's try it.
Well, okay.
Right, it's either you go home with
American-
or you join the military.
you don't
So I'm
want
going to read the
football
oath
fans.
of enlistment, and then
Or
Sergeant Davis from the
anyone that
118th,
watches
116th
NASCAR.
down at Warner Robins in the air control wing.
Okay,
sing
can
the
you look at
national
our
anthem.
sporting events and
Thank you
name
very
me the
much.
smart-looking people? Because I can't do it. I am
We're
one of them,
going
and I know
No.
I'm not smart.
The
Alright.
people that aren't at the sporting events are the smart
Can you
people.
just
Exactly.
raise your right hand?
Exactly.
I state
So
your
they're
name.
just wasting government money. That's all they're
Do
doing.
solemnly swear
I mean,
that I
But
will
if
support
they
and
don't
defend
spend it,
the
they won't get it the
Constitution of
year
United
after.
States.
listen.
Are they? Hang
there's-
on, hang
there's
on,
two-
hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Are they doing a live swearing in
all
for these new
enemies.
recruits?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what they do at every event.
That I will bear true faith
That is my fault on it too.
and allegiance to the same.
No, here's the thing. I gotta say
And
this.
that I will
There are two
obey
things
the
about
told me
America
really just
that are.
rushed.
of the
Yeah.
President of the United States.
I've already angered crazy NSD in the stream.
and the
Leave my
orders
American
of the
kind alone.
officers,
As a fellow American, I'll
This
say
might
right
not be the
now.
stream
the
for you.
regulations,
There are three things about America
Uniform Code,
that
military justice.
are pretty well suited for it.
So help me God.
Not a lot of brains.
Thank you. Round of applause.
Not a lot
Alright,
of
Sergeant Davis, with our national anthem.
Diplomacy. We're not
Yeah.
exactly a diplomatic bunch, but we like loud fucking engines. That's it. That's
And
literally
shooting
you can.
things. You like shooting things.
90% of us are born with mullets, Coors Light in hand, and a pair of pit vipers.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to be born.
Exactly. Exactly. Also, I'm realizing they fucked up on their goddamn sheet because they have two 13th qualifiers. It's not actually.
The 13th's unlucky for some, but
Well, Simon Olsen was 31st, not 13th, but okay.
well, it's not unlucky for him then, is it?
Uh-huh. Actually, most people who qualified or by the thing 13th lost, so.
I'm sorry, but singing needs to lay off the cigs because her teeth gone yellow or coffee.
That is a lot of mullet in the background. Jesus, that was a hell of a thing to cut through. Wow. Crazy NSD, yes, loud make America happy. Yes, it does. Loud does make America happy. It is almost your defining feature.
Yeah.
On the wrong way around and a thing stuck through his ear.
Okay, I have been working on a bracket. I need to actually go and watch this shit now.
I mean, would you trust any of them with a gun?
I don't like. I'm prepared to get angry over FD. I don't really want to go into a gun control rant, but I
No, I'm more on about them joining the Air Force and being handed a large rifle.
To quote Archer, I don't want to shit on you guys, but well, to paraphrase most, but there's a reason why you guys fly planes.
I don't really quite understand why we're having the national anthem of the United States at 1/4 speed either.
Listen.
Get to the end! Oh god, that was pitchy.
Looks like she's about to have a breakdown.
Thank you so much. Anthem sung by Sergeant Davis and presenting the colors, the Warner Robins Air Force Base.
Sergeant Davis looks understandably upset with her own performance because she knows she committed to that note and it was wrong. Bad luck, Sergeant Davis. In the same way that I don't host a knitting show, you should not be singing a national anthem.
Starting with the first car park coming to us from Ireland. In that Oracle Lights next in
Yeah, she definitely looks like somebody who knows she fucked up.
Yeah, that is the miserable face of someone who is not enjoying what they're doing. Right, let's go through these guys. Thoughts on Carnage? Yes? No?
He's definitely looking better.
He's looking better. Let's see if we can see this Huddy Racing logo on Jonathan Castro's car.
For the love of God, it better not be there.
I really hope it's not, because Jonathan Castro seems like a nice guy, like generally a pretty nice guy. Do we think Asbo's going to take the win this evening?
Probably.
Is he facing Turk?
I'm literally making the bracket as we speak, just so I can actually read along to it better.
Read along with Josh. It's time for a fun read along with Josh.
So Osbo will be facing Jeff Jones.
Okay.
Next up, two-time and your defending Formula Drift champion. Pilots of Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5D the Fun Hammer Von Ginn Jr.
You don't get much more there. I know you.
Logan Evans. I like Adam's videos, but I just don't think he's anywhere near ready for Pro 1. I'm in an awkward position here. The problem I have is that I think Adam LZ demonstrated last year there were some battles where he showed an alarmingly improved level of driving maturity. Some of his runs were genuinely good, like properly worthy of being there, and some of his chases were aggressive and they looked controlled, but the consistency isn't there. What shows is that he's not got enough practice driving battles, and I know he's trying to improve that, but oh god, Jeff Jones is having a fit. That's unfortunate. And he's tried to make up for that by doing things like clutch kickers over the course of this winter. He's probably an improved chase driver now. Like, the standard he's at now probably is worthy of being in Pro 1, judging by the low standards of Pro 1 that we've seen over the course of last year and this year. The problem is that when they've also leveled up his driving skill, they've also made the car significantly harder to drive because he felt like he wasn't having the performance that he needed to be competitive last year. Well, I think last year's car was good enough, but he wasn't good enough to be competitive in it because he was on a tyre that's probably equivalent to what James Dean was winning competitions on in the Falcon car. But Adam's not that driver, and he might have got to be that driver if he hadn't now made the car harder to drive. So he's in this weird catch-22 where he's probably almost certainly better this year. He's probably worthy of being there this year on the merit of his driving alone, but they've made the car so hard to drive that he looks as bad, if not worse, than last year. So he's in this catch-22 situation. I don't think he's he's not a great driver.
I'll put it like a good way to put it is he's a guy you can see in the grade 8. He might win a battle or two. Grade 8 Final 4 is a fucking like long shot. He did that last year at Texas, but this year, if anything, he's going to be struggling with those tires because they're just so big. They're so
yeah,
thick.
that's it. Because Crazy NSD is saying the bitch got a 2J with a cockload of power and all of the things you need. Why they keep upgrading? The thing is, they tried to move. Like he didn't think it was fast enough, so they've increased the weight and put it onto a different tire category with a more grippy tire. So it's now gone from. I don't think it's not that much more powerful, so it's not going to feel the same because all they've done is add grip to a car that was already powerful. They haven't kept the balance, so they haven't made it faster. They've just made it more difficult to drive.
Yeah, the biggest problem I think with him is that he's been driving so much with Vaughn and Chelsea, and then he's been driving his 36. He hasn't even been using the S15 over in clutch kickers. He's been running the 36.
No, he did use the 15 in clutch kickers.
He used it for one round because his 36 blew up.
Yeah, but in that round, he went to that really controversial decision against Alec Honendale.
Yeah, and even though I don't think he was on Nitto at the time.
No, he wasn't.
I think he was still on the Achilles.
I think he was still on the Achilles. Well, I might be wrong. I don't know that for sure. Yeah, that's where I think he's going to mess up. Yeah, I'm with you there, Killshot. I think that's the problem there. Is he's got. Oh God.
Why does Hughes feel like he would be perfect to play fucking Fortnite?
Why are they rewinding all the way back through that?
I don't know. I think that was a button.
That was someone in the editing office going, "You guys didn't have a miserable enough time. We're going to rerun that fun. Zzz, now you get to see them all again." No.
So all right. So predictions for the battles: Field versus Denofa.
Field. Denofa doesn't look settled. I don't know what they've done to the car. He doesn't look settled this weekend.
His lead against Hull, that second lead looked great, but Field is just on one.
And this, I think this will come down to Chelsea now feeling like he's got to make up for the fact that he did such a bad qualifying run. He knows he did a bad qualifying run. He's going to switch it round. He's going to go 100% full Chelsea. I think it's possible, and this is pure conjecture. I think Field is in a better mental space than Chelsea at the start of this season, and I think Chelsea will out-Chelsea himself.
I can believe that. Here's one for you. The next one, Pollock versus Taguchi.
Pollock Taguchi, I think Pollock will get it unless Taguchi's car is so fast that he literally just walks away into the distance. It's going to be one hell of a thing.
Yeah. Taguchi's biggest issue, I think, is that car is actually too ripped up for him. He's shooting through everything way too wide.
But this comes down to what we were talking about before, is that the reality of the situation is that Taguchi is a great driver, and it comes back to what I was literally losing my mind over last stream, is that car should have been ready 3 weeks ago. That car should have been ready. So Kazuya Taguchi touched that car for the first time during practice for this weekend. Now, Taguchi's a good driver. He's one of the better drivers that's come over from Japan to compete in FD, and he's consistent and he spends lots of time driving. He's a great guy, nice guy, really nice guy. He's got a good simulator rig setup, as well as the Logitech one that he's sponsored by, and he's got the right tools. But that car should have been finished a month ago. The guy should have been able to have 4 weekends of practice sessions dialing that thing in.
Here's the crazy thing, though, about this. Nobody knew it was going to be the FRS. Everyone thought it was the GTR. They had put up so many videos of so much promo shit for the R35.
Yeah, but they were trying to sell it. That was the point. They were trying to sell the 35. It's still for sale, isn't it?
Might be. You're a bit of a car guy. Yeah, so everyone thought some of the pictures they've had, it's that's the rear end for the 35. So he's running the 35 this year since the S15.
I just want to highlight something that just happened. I don't know if you watched that on the stream, but Jared Dienda just reached over and handled that guy's mask on his behalf, because that won't cause contamination should there be a problem at all. Any tips for comp in chase position on transitions? Because I seem to have an understeer feeling when I'm close to someone, or like I feel I'm late, but if I go earlier, I surge and hit them. You can use the handbrake during transition, a little bit of a drag of handbrake during transition. I put the clutch in if I'm really close. I just stay on the throttle put the clutch in as I flick, and then that just drops you back enough that when you surge up the other side you can get it. Try and make sure you're dropping back enough to give them the transition room before the transition, because then if you do surge you come up and forward, and if you know you're going to surge you can get on the brakes straight away up on the inside. There's a load of different techniques, like make sure you're comfortable tucking in on them all the time anyway, and then just get someone to go and lead you some transitions. Find a circuit that's got loads of transitions in it and just practice that dive up the inside. Do it in street cars. Our street pack is coming soon and it's available now on our Patreon. It's perfect for practicing good tandems, and just make sure that you get used to using the techniques of the car. So handbrake, clutch. If anyone says to you, man, you shouldn't be using handbrake in a drift car, punch them straight away in the throat and then the dick. It's bullshit. Just tell them to fuck off. They're wrong. It's a tool you must have under control, and it's useful in that swinging position. You just drag that one through the transition and then surge up the inside. That's what you need to practice, and you'll have a great time. If it's the surge on the dive, then use it to your advantage. If you're surging anyway, throw more angle at it and then wash up onto their door. And that's the Naoki method, is to snap hard. And when you snap hard, you get the extra speed, but you can then run the extra angle to come up onto their door. So those are my tips for twinning practice. And if you want to come onto the server and have someone do some lead lines, I'll throw some lead lines for you and you can try them.
All right, Ben?
Yes.
Spell, Vaughn versus Hughes.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
Dylan's
outgunned.
outgunned.
I think the only thing Hughes might have on him is I think he's faster than Vaughn here. He's probably the fastest car there, but he just isn't getting as much angle as he should. But
I'm just going to answer this guy's question. Sometimes able to hit it perfect. Do you have any tips for consistency? It's just practice. Make sure your car's set up the same. Just go and practice it, and make sure you're not looking at their door when you transition.
That's a big one, yeah.
What wheel would you recommend to start in sim drifting? Depends entirely on your budget. If your budget is good enough, like for me, no question, right now on the market, CSL Elite, absolute best wheel for drifting, for pure drifting. CSL Elite is the best wheel on the market for drifting right now. I don't know what the DD is going to be like, the CSL DD. I'm trying to get them to send me out one. We're in discussions at the moment. If it's not fast enough in the transition, then the CSL Elite will still be better than the direct drive wheel. The CSL Elite for just pure drifting is as good as the DD2. If you're doing racing as well, the Club Sport is better and the TSXW is as good, but for pure drifting, the CSL Elite, not the old one which has got the front that looks like it was taken from someone's bathroom, but the one that's just pure black with the blue Elite logo in the bottom right hand corner, that's the best wheel right now. CSL Elite better than T300. CSL Elite strips the T300 bare and shits gently into its gearing. It is a fantastic, phenomenal wheel. It is light years, a million miles, different league better than a T300.
If you are looking for like a low budget wheel, I mean, I run a TMX. It's actually not a bad wheel. It gets the job done, but yeah, no. If money is not the biggest worry with it, I wholeheartedly agree with Ben. I've driven on that wheel at a friend's house, and let's just say, what's the best way to put it? It was a coming to Jesus moment.
There was a light. I looked gently into the light, and lo, the angel spoke unto me and said, "Purchase a CSL Elite, and you shall come first." But I didn't, and I won a toaster instead.
Yeah. Damn Cylons.
I have a G920, not as bad as people say. Have to do a lot of setting up though. Yeah, for this is controversial. For my money, like I genuinely think that a G920 with a good setup, it is not worth the step up to the T300. I think the improvement in performance is so narrow on gripped up cars. So VDC, us, some of the, like if you've got your own personal comp car, I don't think the T300 is good enough. For drifting, it's a fantastic all-round race wheel, and if you do a bit of drifting and if you're only in street cars, it's plenty. But if you are in pro cars and you are driving hard and you are snapping aggressively to angle and you're on the throttle a lot and you're chasing guys right up close, my personal opinion is that the T300 is not better enough than the G series wheels to be worth the money in the first place. Now, in contrast, the T500 was a great wheel, and the difference is the T300 has better quality feedback, but the T500 has better speed. And this is where the CSL is better than the TSXW, is the speed of rotation I can clutch kick transition on full throttle from lock to lock in my ultra snappy SR20 drift car with the CSL. I could not do that with a T300. It would spit me out every single time. The exact same movement could not keep up with the car. So for me, CSL Elite, if you've got a G920 and you're looking to spend money, save up, find a CSL Elite, even a used one, a good CSL Elite. The pedals and everything else, you can just leave your G920 plugged in and use your pedals and shifter. You don't have to turn it on at the wall, but you can leave it plugged in on the USB. And the CSL Elite as the wheelbase. I got this, the drift wheel. This is worth money because that's got the Club Sport snap-off. They have replaced that. They've now do a CSL snap-off. But I'm not backed by Fanatec. I just really genuinely believe that their product is excellent. Not that quantifier. Some of their quality control has been dog turd, but the actual performance of the wheel has been phenomenal.
Just want to say they gotta, if they get a CSL Elite, they gotta make sure to tighten the wheel every now and then.
Yeah, unless you've got one of these. Like with the snap off, you don't need to as much because it's all in the way that it snaps together. If you can, I would wait for the CSL DD. I just got a DD and save up for a while. I don't know. Until someone's tried it, I don't think that's good advice. Because we don't know how fast the CSL DD is going to be from side to side. It might not be quicker than other wheels that are on the market. Because the DD2 doesn't spin any faster than the CSL Elite. It's just got loads of torque. So if it spins at the same speed, it just does more damage to your fingers. It doesn't actually transition faster. It feels more, there's more car to it, and you can run it at higher force feedback without it sacrificing. But in order to get, like, I set up Hayden Cruikshank's DD2 and we were running it at 20% force feedback. Well, that means that 80% of that was irrelevant because that was just too much power. So if you're spending that money, why are you spending that money? Because if it's not, it's speed you need in drifting for transitions, it's not force feedback strength. You want it to be able to flick completely from side to side and rotate as fast as possible. And the DD2 is fast and much, much faster than a lot of other direct drive wheels. But I've used pretty much everything that's on the market now except for the CSL DD because we don't know what that's like yet. And I still have yet to find a direct drive wheel that performs for drifting. And I'm trying to stress this, for pure drifting, it's not better. It's different, but it's not necessarily better. It's speed that you need, and most of the DD wheels don't spin fast, they've just got huge power.
Also,
anyway,
Ben,
go on, next battle.
You want the,
go on, sorry.
Battle, Turk versus Meyer.
Turk, every time. Unless there's a mechanical problem.
Yeah, after that, Osbo versus Jones.
Osbo?
Jones is a wild he's a wild horse, or I was about to say wild horse. He's a wild card. He's the black horse of the event.
A good Jeff Jones gives Asbo a great fight, but I don't know that there's a good Jeff Jones 2 runs in a row.
Yeah, that's the issue. After that battle, Kearney versus Sorensen. I am looking forward to that battle.
I think that's going to be the best battle of the top 16. I know that's really controversial, but I think those are the most evenly matched cars and drivers in terms of their style. Yeah,
Kearney's finally getting that power down where he needs it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he looks solid. He probably would have qualified in the top 16 had, you know, the shitty fucking... I can't say it's shitty. I don't like the 24 map. If it was 16, he would have had a chance to go a little higher.
Yeah.
I just feel like the first round of it should determine the lead drivers for the event.
Yeah.
The rest battle out to figure out where they go.
I love this. Just looking at this championship history, you go, turned up, James Dean, left again, Vaughn Gittin Jr.
We all thought Osbo was going to win last year without Dean, but
Vaughn came in. I think if Osbo had still been in the Corolla, he would have won last year. Sorry, just to go back to this, what does the term washing out in the front end mean, and what does it feel like? Because I think sometimes it happens to me, and I also don't know what the fix for it is. So generally, there's a few things that washing out will feel. Depending on the quality of your wheel, the G920 you might feel it a little bit. The steering will go light in a way that it doesn't normally go light, and the car will push on the front end. What you get is understeer. And there's a number of causes. For most people, it's caused by doing too much steering and not enough throttle control. So if you're doing a lot of work with your hands, and not enough work with your legs, then you'll tend to. And Josh, who's on the chat at the moment, used to be guilty of this. He had his range of steering set very, very low, which meant that every movement had a massive effect on the car.
Yeah. First event I did here was 300. After that was 540. I have just now moved up to 720, and I feel so good with it now.
Yeah.
And Pro Driver, if you were watching qualifying yesterday, who was very guilty of this, was Shafero.
Yeah.
He was doing more steering with his hands than actually trying to drive the car through the throttle, and you could tell he was struggling to keep that thing in drift.
Crazy NSD. I play 900. 900 is good. That you won't. Even a big movement will only have a certain amount of input, but if you're doing lots of them, then think of it as every single time you make a movement, you are destabilizing the car because you're putting energy in at the front end, and you're making the front do something, however big a movement it is, and every single input that you put in moves the car in some way. So we don't one of the things that we do at Tsujigiri is we don't talk in terms of necessarily throttle control or speed or anything else. We talk in terms of energy. So everything you do to the car that's not braking puts energy into the car. And if you think that suspension and that setup can only deal with a certain amount of energy, then if you're doing this and masturbating two dudes at once with the steering wheel, then you are going to end up destabilizing the front end, and you've put a load of energy into the suspension and a load of energy into the tyres that doesn't need to be there, and it will shuffle its way along the curb and along the road. So you need to make sure that you're just using smooth inputs, and if you're running too much camber, then when you're going straight ahead, you'll get a lot of understeer. And if you're running too little camber, then when it's on lock, it will roll over onto the outside edge of the wheel. So if you're on high lock and you've not got enough camber on the front end, then the car will also understeer and push on. I don't do that though. It sometimes seems like the front end just does not go in. Have a look at your replays, just focus on the front wheels. If you want to send it in, if you want to upload some and send it across, or join in the chat and stream us a video of you running, we'll have a proper look at what you're doing and we'll try and give you some feedback. We'll do that after all this because we're talking about general drifting when we want to be getting angry about this. But yeah, join in on the Discord and we'll sort you out. Crazy NSD, don't worry about it. We will get your problem solved. And in the meantime, Josh, next battle.
We have two more.
Go on.
Odie versus Travis Reeder.
Odie.
I think Odie. Odie did not look perfect in that run against Hurst, but I mean, you can't really do much when the person you're chasing is not even able to complete two runs. That's a technical issue.
Sorry,
with the car.
1 second. Crazy NSD, I haven't sorted the bot out yet. It's something that's on my to-do list for this week. The Discord is available through the website. Sorry, go on, Josh.
Yeah.
Last one.
Last one is LZ versus Castro. I feel like Castro has that. I think LZ, the only way LZ wins that is if it's another lucky situation where the guy he's facing breaks.
Which can happen. And Castro has no middle ground. Castro's another one of those drivers that's either amazing or he just goes straight off the boil. Yeah. But this one I'm excited for. Let's have a look at this one. So, Field versus... Oh, it's a woman from Chelsea in the back. Chelsea's lost it. Chelsea's lost it.
Chelsea
he went full Chelsea.
He
yeah, exactly. That's it. He goes full Chelsea.
I think what you said before, I still feel is the most apt way to describe it. If he was 90% Chelsea, every event, he would not lose.
Yeah.
There's nobody who can beat Chelsea at 90%.
90% Chelsea is phenomenal. Anything over 90% Chelsea is that. But I think this comes down to another thing that you were saying, which is that car is not the same as the car that they have been using. Like that is probably still on the BC coilovers, whereas they've on the Funhaver car they've been putting it on the new suspension. I don't know that for a fact, but I think there's still BC logos on there. Yeah, there's a giant one down the side. So I don't know if it's on the new suspension.
Yeah, BC Racing is the ones who do his what's his title sponsor, but yeah, the Funhaver ones he's been testing is all. I think they've done it with Vaughn, right? Where's Hayden when I need him?
I mean, that's Matt Fields did everything right there. There was nothing like Chelsea just overdrove the car.
Yeah, he just, he looked like he straightened out here. What Carr understood on him a second, he flicked it back in like the way you should, but he just
wide wrong clip wall.
Let's take a look at that smoke line.
I mean, I'm not angry about this battle. I'm just consistently disappointed because Chelsea is such a phenomenal driver. And
yeah, it's an inner clip.
Yeah, so they don't put a clip on the outer zone on the initiation anymore on this track. So there's no outer zone. There's just you must get to the inner zone, and you've got to have the fluid line through it.
I have a feeling though that Chelsea's gonna do a thing here.
Yeah, I mean Chelsea was always going to drive out of his skin on that second run just to try and see if he could put the pressure on field. But Matt's there. And this is one of the things you can see. That car is so gripped up. Like the Chelsea has got the Mustang gripped up to the max. And I don't know why you would. The Falcon guys, none of them are fast. Like Falcon's tyre is still, what, 12 years old as a compound? None of the Falcon guys are rocket ship fast. You just don't need your car gripped up that much to compete with the Falcon guys. None of them. Not even James was fast. He was faster than the other Falcon guys, but look how much field he's having to cut. The Corvette is a fucking rocket ship, and look how much field's having to cut to even stay in touch with the Mustang, and Chelsea's pouring on the angle.
I do have to say one thing, and I feel like it's nice to see. Matt probably has the most confidence in everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, he has blind faith.
But look at that difference. Chelsea was still pulling away from him, and Chelsea had something like 10 or 20 degrees more lock coming into the outer zone there. Like, look how shallow Matt's having to run to even stay close to Chelsea. That Mustang is a rocket ship, and it's just too much grip for the battle. Yeah.
Yep, so Field gets the win. I'll update that on the bracket.
And that's the thing for me is I think RTR I don't know if Vaughan did it as much. I felt like there was a point where Chelsea had 2-3 years ago where Chelsea had influenced Vaughan towards running too much grip, and I think Vaughan reached that point. And the impression I get, and this is totally from the outside looking in, the impression I get is that Vaughan dialed back a little bit of the grip, and it's made him more consistent. Whereas I feel like Chelsea is trying to bring his aggression up to overcome the grip. And it's killing him every time. He was a championship contender last year. I hope everyone's excited to hear me just rant and rave about drifting. This is I'm in my happy spot.
Yeah, no, that was all Field. Sadly for him.
Look at this. Look at how much it shoots forward. As soon as the angle came off, that car just lit up that hill. I mean, Chelsea is a good 5 car lengths behind as they come out of the keyhole, and as he comes through here, it's down to like 1.5, 2 by the time they cross the line.
Crazy. We have a guy who competes in Tsujigiri who's 12. It isn't a big worry on that. Just as long as you behave yourself.
Yeah.
Right, man?
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have a problem with that.
Good old Patty, though. I swear, if Patty can sort out his entries, he is a threat every damn round.
Is Patty 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, oh man, that makes me feel bad with some of the shit that goes on in that driver's voice channel during the comms.
I know. All right. I am hoping Kazuya does. I'm hoping Kazuya does good, but it's GTV he is facing. It's a rough one to be matched up with any week.
Hey, we finally have a battle.
Oh, we do have a battle, I think, sort of.
Come on.
God, look how giant that Mustang looks compared to that tiny little bumblebee of a...
Ooh, hey! First time I've seen Kazuya hit that inner. I'm actually happy. That's an improvement. He has struggled with that inner all day.
I think the drivability of that car in the chase position is
questionable.
Yeah, I think JTP is going to win this one just purely on the drivability of the car in the chase. I think they've taken some grip out of Kazu's car, because look at how much more stable it looks than it did in qualifying. But even then, with it just shoots forward. The moment he's not on it just goes forwards. Look at that push.
Yeah, I think what you said earlier, this should have been done a month ago, because these are all things he's having to learn on the fly on competition weekend.
Yeah, and that's just not okay.
I feel like at Orlando, he's going to be a fucking beast, though. He's good at bank tracks. I don't know what it is. Him and Yokoi are the only two Japanese drivers. Well, okay, and Saito, but that was like years ago. That were actually good at bank tracks. Like we've seen Gray come over from Japan, sucked on bank tracks.
Yeah, but part of that is down to, it's not to do necessarily with the driver. It's like banked tracks are mostly set up. So if you've come over and you've got a crew chief that doesn't know anything about banked setup, then you end up with a terrible time on banked tracks.
Ooh.
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 A little far away, but not doing bad in chase.
Do you not want that? I thought you want push in the car. Yeah, you do want push in the car, but there's a difference between pushing the car that makes the car work for you and pushing the car that makes the car undrivable in certain circumstances. And if you've got something that literally just shoots forwards... No, that's Pollock. JTP's got that. That was a really good effort from Kazu, but he needs that car dialed in more. They just need more time with it.
Yeah, I'll say this right now. If anything, that chase right there gives me faith for the season for him. That looked good. It didn't look perfect, but it looked good for a car that he just got into.
Yeah.
There's definitely something going on there, because the thing that's really interesting is JTP was faster up the hill, so I think they've taken the drive out of the car using but looking at the way it moves, I think they've cranked the tyre pressures up on those GT radials, or they've had to really stiffen the suspension. Whatever they've done, it's lost the bite, but it is no longer as rapid as it once was, and there's going to have to be a point where they trade that off, and they'll get it eventually where it's drivable and fast, but it's not there yet. It's not there yet at all.
I think if anything, Taguchi's given me faith for this year. I'm really glad I picked him. I mean, I was going to pick him anyway, but still. All right, let's see. JTP.
Yeah.
Yep. JTP got that.
There it is. JTP gets the win. Lantain, if you would, please throw on your headset. It was unanimous.
Kazu's looking better in that car already. Yes, he is, Scorp. Hello. How are you? Come and join us in the chat, Scorp. Come on.
Yeah, get in here, bud.
I like the way that I made that sound like a normal invitation, and Josh made it sound like he was inviting you into a hot tub. Yeah, come on, get in here, bud.
Get in the hot tub.
Yeah, it's hot tub time machine time, buddy.
Get in the hot tub. Get in the hot tub.
The Great White Buffalo.
Oh man. I mean, this one's Vaughan all day long. My only hope is that Dylan doesn't crumble under the pressure and end up spinning it, and Vaughan ends up writing the car off. Because I like Dylan, he's a good driver, but he can fold like a cheap suit.
That's kind of unfortunate. That's mean to cheap suits.
He can fold faster than a Korean dry cleaners. What? They're very efficient. They fold up your clothes really quickly.
I know. That's the worst.
It comes out of the machine, they do this, and then they hand it over. It's great. It was a compliment. It's not racism. You've got a terrible mind.
No, I'm just like, you know what, that is actually the most apt way to put it. That's fucked, but it's apt.
I just want to say,
Scorp!
done Denofa for things again.
Exactly.
Yeah, we know Denofa did Denofa for things.
What are you doing?
I've got to go to bed, so have a good one, guys.
Take it easy, man. You can still watch us from bed. You can join in the voice chat if you can't sleep, Anders.
Yeah.
No,
I'll be thinking of you. Get in the hot tub, Anders.
If I try and watch it in bed, I'll be masturbating furiously.
Oh, that's fair. I am glad I make you feel that comfortable.
Whoa.
Take it easy, Anders. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
and he's lost in the smoke already.
I mean, that is the fastest I've ever seen Vaughn go through that first corner.
Yeah.
That thing is real fast this year.
Can I say this right now? And I correct me if I'm wrong, but Achilles, the only great thing about it last year was it was an absolute smoke factory. Is that Nitto this year? Because Turk was the one who smoked out Mohan so bad he lost where he was on the track. You couldn't see anything after the first fucking initiation with him. And Denofa put down some great smoke too.
Just need less smoke on track so we can actually see things.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me here is that maybe maybe this is because they've all been forced to submit a compound. So I think maybe what we're seeing is that the guys that have managed to get grip back have mostly got it back mechanically. And if you've got it back mechanically, then the power will still overcome the tyre and that will create the smoke line. So it's possible that we're going to just see a really smoky season. I don't know. Crazy NSD, another thing is my cars don't feel comfy, if that makes sense. It feels like there's more there, but I don't know how to do it when I'm tuning. Like it makes me feel unstable and shit. Come and join in the Discord. We'll sort you out. We've got loads of guides on tuning around, and if anyone's here, my methodology is well known by our regulars now. They'll be able to find a lot of grip with you. It's all absolutely fine. Just come and join in. Vaughn. Oh, Vaughn looks tentative in that chase position.
He knows he's faster.
Although,
yeah, because right here.
Yeah, here's the pressure. Oh God.
He's not looking too bad in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Oh,
whoa! Oh, has he shut it down?
Just understeer?
Yeah, I think Vaughn just lost that battle.
Holy shit!
That's another upset.
Whoa! I did not expect to see that out of.
Here's a thought. Here's a controversial thought. I wonder if by accident, by going down to the to the harder compound maybe, and ending up with loads more smoke, it's possible that RTR have done a Dean Kearney from a few years ago when they didn't have enough tyre to do 2 runs. Because that looked like it turned off midway through that run. He was getting slower from the moment they got to the keyhole. The car got slower and slower and slower.
On the first
shit!
run,
That is very possible.
The second half of the run, thinking the BMW was catching him.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that compound's not good for 2 runs. Because don't forget the Hankook, was it the RS3s that they had in when Hankook were in Formula D last, or was it the RS2s? Whichever one it was.
This is going to tell us.
All right, let's see it.
Those Hankooks turned off on the second run. It's why Forsberg was so happy to get off them, even though he lost the tyre width.
If you watch now on the left.
Yeah, so from the keyhole, look.
Right here.
He starts reeling him in. Look,
there. He's in. He's getting closer and closer.
He understeered bad.
Yeah, he understeered real bad. You've got to knock him out.
Dylan Hughes wasn't all over him, but he had a consistent.
Yeah, and apart from where it really closed up in the keyhole, that was good distancing all the way. Like Dylan didn't get left behind apart from on initiation, and that's the run-in. Like you guys know, when we've run against the Mustangs in Tsujigiri competitions, that thing is gripped up, and that's representative. So we know that they're fast off the line. They're really quick off the line. So that gap on the run-in.
Could you imagine if Vaughn and Chelsea go down in 16, though?
I think they've got to. I don't see how you give that win to Vaughn.
I want to see this with the drone shot. I want to see this with the drone shot.
I want to know that the drone shot's important if they stay behind Vaughn. If they try and tuck up onto... Let's see.
Yeah, they're staying behind Vaughn. Go watch here. Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to reinitiate.
What? Oh my... What?
Are you kidding me?
Oh.
In what possible universe?
FD controversy. Let's go.
And people wonder why I hate Lantaine.
That's gonna make me scratch my head a bit.
Oh, they're gonna say that the only fucking sector that Dylan was close was coming out of the keyhole. Whereas Vaughn was close in sector 1, 2, and up to 3, and then fell off.
Actually rigged.
I mean, when I look at it, I mean, I'd seen Dylan Hughes going up the hill. He didn't have much angle.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
No
Vaughn made a pretty drastic mistake on that last one.
Eve Meyer. I'll just say good night, Eve. Good having you.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Eve. Try not to look quite like so much like Michael Myers next time you get your photo taken.
He does. Oh my god. All we need is just like the bat. Like.
Oh, cool. We've got a bot. I do want to become famous, and that's why I shake my titties on OnlyFans. Cha 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 cha. Right, let's see.
Right, good night, Eve.
Night, Eve. Thanks for playing.
Unless Turk does some dumb shit like,
oh my God, the goalpost
like
fell
that!
off! The goalpost fell off!
Like that!
Oh.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, Eve is in the top 8 now, guys.
After the runs he was putting down earlier.
1 second. Okay, you guys might hear some banging. I'm sorry.
The GoPro fell off. It's on the ground over there. It's on the ground.
How did he do that?
Anders, you're not meant to be here. You're meant to be in bed. Stop responding to the chat.
Oh my god.
He has to reinitiate.
Oh, the OnlyFans.
You know, look at this. Like, what comes out of this? He actually straightens out.
Yeah.
Oh,
follow that.
He can't. That's
You can't. That's an unchaseable lead. That's a straight up 0. Shh, you're not your mum, not my mama. No, but I am your puppy.
Guys, Eve Myers in the top 8. Okay, that is another upset of the day. Again.
This is going to be. This is going to be the weirdest top 8, because this is going to be the combo where Vaughn shouldn't have been there, and then a load of other guys that shouldn't have been knocked out have somehow gone and screwed the pooch. And this is another thing. I want to know when they started testing that car, because Turk hasn't. There's been very little on the Instagram of Turk driving that car.
Yeah, Turk's been building the fucking Formula Supra.
Yeah.
He literally just, like, they changed gears to focus on that car the last week or so.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that we said a little while ago. Remember, you Josh, said when we were talking in the D1 chat that one of the things that was really noticeable about the way that Turk drove is that when he made the switch back from trying to be a YouTube star to being a proper driver, suddenly his standards shot back up again. But this entire winter, he's been trying to be a YouTube star again.
Yeah,
when he was building the Ferrari 86, he was a terrible driver, and now that he was building the Supra, he's just not on form.
Exactly, it's because he's splitting his time and effort into 2 different things. This Formula Supra is literally just another 4586. It's not going to be legal for any competition.
No, it's just a fun car. It's just to build it so that he can have it at the demos.
Yeah. It's literally just like the...
Eve Meyer is sat there right now going, well, Is he going to do time attack with it? Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it in use, but I don't want to see him this is his main job. He is a professional Formula D driver. I want to see him do Formula D driving things. I don't want him to lose to Eve Meyer because he couldn't keep it on his track.
He's trying his damnedest to make Eve mistake. Because he knows
and now he's going rallycrossing again. If you want to go rallycrossing, go and compete in rallycross.
It's the hatchback, man. He's just drawn to the dirt.
Oh my god. No, seriously, Eve Meyer won? There's no way.
By a long shot.
I mean, that is...
They haven't swiped.
Well, no, there's no way Turkey
There's
win that.
literally no chance.
We said that about the last battle.
Yeah, no, but this is a full-on 0. Like, it's visible that he reinitiated.
Wait, Eve's not looking bad, though. He's not looking too shabby.
I will say that, yeah, that's his best lead he's ever done in FE. And that's not saying much.
I mean, he's gonna be fucking. He's gonna be happy though.
Have you seen what Brandon's just put in the chat? The look of unimpressed on Ben's face is so real.
Yes, it is. I'm looking at you in chat, and I'm just like, Ben.
You can tell. I've got to tell when I'm genuinely angry, and you'll see it before I react because I cannot do anything about it. My jaw clenches just here. Nowhere else. You just see this line of tension come in here, and you'll see that quite a lot over the course of the evening as I try to work out just how much I want to swear about this ridiculous farce.
You know, okay. What you need to do, my friend, is channel your inner Eddie Jordan.
I cannot channel my inner Eddie Jordan because A, I don't have flamboyant enough trousers and shirts, and B, I'm over 5'2" tall.
You know what? That's a fair fucking point. I digress. God, this fucking
This is my favourite sentence that someone else has written. Straight up, if that black BMW is in the top 2 and the fucker wins the event because fucking Asbo or some shit shits himself and goes to mow the lawn, I'm going to become suicidal. You and me both, buddy. We will be there together. We can make ourselves into Christmas ornaments via the neck. I'm there for it. This is not okay.
Hey, I've got a funny thing. Patrick Oswald's got to have a mechanical failure and Jeff Jones moves on.
Oh, can you imagine a Jeff Jones Eve Meyer final? Like, it's not out of the window. This is the kind of event we're seeing.
Papadakis won't let that A90 break.
Because he said it to the window, to the wall.
Oh.
To the wall.
We're 5 to 6 hours away from evening. I'll just wait until I can be nicely silhouetted by the sunset, Brandon, and make sure that then I'm just beautifully photoed when I'm hanging there by my noose.
Three-wheel.
Jesus.
Fuck me off.
Look, where is Jeff Jones finding this? This is a totally different Jeff Jones.
What the fuck? Oh my goodness, mate! He's on him.
Jeff Jones is genuinely going to force Asbo to have to do a proper chase.
Yeah,
Gave
no, that's
him
the thing.
a lead.
Okay, Jeff Jones, I see ya.
Mr. Seabass, thank you for the follow. Welcome along. I'm hoping you're enjoying me losing my absolute mind with this bollocks.
No, here's the thing. Jones last year, when he switched to GT Radio, looked fucking amazing. He got a top 4. And
Yeah, no, in fairness, I think now they've had more time with those GT radials and dialed them in. I think that...
I think the big thing here is just Osbo's so fast. Like, literally, if
But
somebody even comparable speed to him,
that car,
a much closer chase.
this is like that car, Papadakis and Asbo and that car, they are the one team that did this winter properly, apart from Matt Field. And the RTR guys probably did the best they could with it and had just been having a weird event. But they clearly spent so much time getting that car to handle better. Oh, and Jeff Jones has called a timeout.
Oh, fucking hell.
Please do not tell me we get another default
Wonder
run.
if he threw a belt, trying to keep up.
Yeah. Oh.
He's still running the supercharger, right? The Edelbrock supercharger.
I'm really excited for this battle. Brandon Sorensen, Dean Carney could be a really good battle. This could be something worth watching.
Brandon Sorensen took fucking Trenton to fucking school.
Oh, Brandon Sorensen was my favourite chase run of the top 32.
Oh, yeah. That kid's got potential.
NGK produces spark plugs for motorcycles, power sports, marine, and outdoor power equipment. NGK also offers complementary ignition products, including ignition coils.
That was a great entry by Jeff Jones. He made up so much distance there. Like, that was really properly ballsy, and that's good driving. That's not the car doing the work. That's Jeff Jones actually finding the... I think he knocked it there. Yeah, I think he tapped him, and that's probably going to have thrown something out of whack. Because the car looks weird after the transition here. Look, it wobbles on the transition.
He's getting a lot better now. He's actually really developing as a driver, and I'm really happy for him. Plus, he's a funny cunt. I fucking love that too.
What happened to Warthouse? I know, James. Why not Piotr? They didn't bother bringing any of the cars over last year or this year because of the travel bans and the restrictions going backwards and forwards across the Atlantic. Unless you've got a good reason, you literally cannot get a flight across the Atlantic right now. And also, my understanding is that the original Warthouse entry for FD was largely for tax purposes, obviously, because they run a roofing company and they just it wasn't a cost-effective tax purpose right down to run 2 cars again this year or last year, and it's a combo of things. It's a combo of things.
Plus, James Dean left it now.
Yeah, but I think they parted ways because I think that Waterhouse didn't want to continue a 2-car team any longer. I don't think it was a case of James left Waterhouse, because he and Piotr are still friends. I think Waterhouse just went, well, there's no point in us backing a 2-car team. We don't need to write down that much tax right now.
Yeah, it had to be a business decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any...
You don't stop sponsoring the best driver in the world.
Yeah.
Unless you go, well, I can either sponsor the best driver in the world or I can support my son. You know, that's...
I was going to say the car's running on 1 cylinder, apparently.
That's what Jeff is all about. Tenacity.
Wonder if he did throw a belt.
He's got a lot of fight in him, right? So
I don't know. Apparently,
I don't think it was suspension stuff because they looked like they were taking the cover off.
Apparently, to Lorette.
1 cylinder does not a great engine make, unless you're running a lawnmower. Difficult to win FD in a lawnmower. Probably not impossible, considering some of the judging calls we've seen this weekend, though.
And them going into the grass.
Challenge, accept... Oh, yeah, and of course Ryan Turk, he's clearly there in what he thinks is a lawnmower. Right, I'm excited for this one. I'm really properly excited for this one, so I guarantee that because I'm G'd up and excited for it, it's going to be a terrible battle. I hope everyone's ready that this is going to be balls now.
They both just fucked up.
Ben, you just cursed them.
Oh!
Seriously?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I wonder if there's oil. I wonder if Jeff Jones has left a load of oil on the exit of turn 1.
Because he dropped a cylinder. Oh, fuck.
Have they not noticed a massive oil patch on turn 1?
Yeah, I think that would explain what happened.
Because look, Kearney gets a massive understeer on the way back up onto the final straight.
You can see it reflected on the ground.
Yeah, there's a load of oil there.
And I mean, what would they do in that situation? Would they just...
Well, that's an organisational fuck-up.
You saw it glistening on the ground.
Yeah, look, there's a... Oh, my God, there's a load of oil there.
And then right here, he's just absolutely no grip. He tries to brake, but there's just nothing there.
Just keep going.
If I'm Brandon Sorensen and Team Sorensen right now, in fact, even if I'm Dean Kearney, I'm going back up to the top and I'm grabbing someone by the neck and saying, what in the actual fuck are you doing sending cars when there's that much oil on the track?
Yeah,
You have to have said something about it.
That is an egregious mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a totally inexcusable lack of control over your own event.
It just
like where are the track marshals? Where are the stewards? Did no spotters see this? Like, what is? They might still not know. Although I bet they're gonna just do the second run.
No, they're just gonna do the second run. They're just gonna say they went in too hot.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh my God!
If it happens again.
Oh no!
No, don't tell us, Josh. You're ahead of us. You're ahead of us.
By a long shot.
Yeah,
by miles. You can see it glistening.
Yeah, it's in the center of the coming down.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
Now this one at first pass looks a little bit more interesting because there was.
Will they notice it now?
Will
one of these drivers let him know? Surely Sorensen felt that in lead, that he just lost all grip and started skating.
There's something wrong with the track.
And then Dean loses traction in the exact same spot. Like, doesn't seem like anyone is calling it trackside.
Ooh, there was contact.
Yeah, there was contact. Yeah, there was massive contact.
That's a chase car not being able to slow down.
Yeah, look at, you can see it. There's a line of oil there.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
And that's where Sorensen hits, because you can see he's locked up to try and get it to go forward, and he gets massive understeer.
They're gonna give Carney the win because they don't know there's oil on the track.
And it's going to happen again in the next one.
I fucking swear, dude. Judges still don't know. Deanna's got no ideas, per usual.
They're just fucking singing some kind of jungle call.
Nobody's got eyes.
I'm going to be back in.
Atlanta.
I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. While this bullshit's occurring, I'm going to go piss because I've had so much coffee now.
We're gonna give Carney a win. I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Next event coming up after this one is straight away. He's going to be High Texture All Stars in Australia, and both Tasmanians have qualified first and second. I'm fucking happy.
Oh, nice. Is that being live streamed?
Let's go, Tazzy.
Let's focus on Sorensen a little bit more this time. Kind of a straight line approach.
You just, oh my.
He's also breaking along with Dean. I think Dean is kind of okay here.
But Dean Carney was off power past the inside clip.
No, you can see his rear tires are spinning up, like he's starting to get on power. It's like it's not putting down the traction.
It's almost like there's fucking oil
look at that line.
His front wheels are also doing anything for him.
He's gonna let it off. He's gonna unwind it right about there, and I think he does another little tap.
See, he's getting on power.
Back on throttle, and it looks like Sorensen was just.
You can see as he initiated, his wheels bounced into lock and back out like super quick.
Oh, you did a bad job. No, it's just this is a crazy entry here, and you really need to have kind of a fine-tooth comb approach with each competitor because the difference.
Talking about fucking track
No,
time.
if anything, I want to see those guys centered again because I don't want to win around.
Clean the track.
They're gonna give it to Carney because Sorensen messed up harder in
The
lead.
entry was a bit hard to follow though. I mean, they're both double zeroed and shit. I don't want to win her out of that. They both didn't even complete the track.
You don't see the apparent smoke until after the inside flip, but his wheels were definitely moving, and I think you could probably say.
Okay, I'm back, and I've managed to get my rage levels up.
If they don't,
So they're saying
if they don't clean up the track and then just.
I think they're saying Vaughn is, or not Vaughn. They're trying to figure out if Dean's
Okay,
at
they
fault.
might know now. Somebody's telling them something.
Someone's telling someone something. Yes.
Yes, someone
should have told them 2 runs ago.
Pure Tricks, thank you for the follow.
Should've
Welcome
told them
along.
after
I hope
Jeff
you're
Jones
enjoying me
dropped his
losing my
cylinder on the track.
mind at Formula Drift right now. I've got the rage. I'm gonna punch someone in the throat and then the dick and watch them crawl on the ground in pain. Fuck you.
Alright.
Never change, Ben. Never change.
Inser using his clipping points in order to highlight it. This is absolute bollocks. Yeah. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
From an LS guy, a cylinder drops in an LS, I think a massive blow.
There you go. That'll make you happy.
Oh, I've seen better judging in D1 GP.
Okay.
I mean, you made me go down through all of my gears there, Josh. The revs just got higher and higher as my indignation wound up. I was ready to drop the hammer and go. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Oh no.
That's the sound of Jeff Jones' engine dropping a cylinder.
I've got shitloads of clipping points, so yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm so close to just going and jumping on AC. Lost my ass off. The rage.
They have to know now. There's been such a big delay.
I like turtles.
Oh
that is a good use of your clipping points. Yeah, I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. Oh, it's got. Oh, someone put it one more time. Someone had the common sense to say one more time.
Now can they clean the fucking track?
That's what's fucking depressing to me. That should have been the best battle.
Look, you can see the oil there from where he came back up. Look, those are spots of oil all the way along the floor.
There's a huge line.
Turtles like Josh. I'm loving you guys using the clipping points just to send crap messages to each other.
Brian Eggert's the only judge with sense, apparently. How did they miss that in Sorensen's lead?
Do you know what my favourite thing is there? I've only just noticed
that he had no control and went in a straight line.
I'm going to Georgia and beating some fucking ass. Yeah, I think that's probably worthwhile. I hadn't noticed before that actually Jared Diender's lightest moustache bit is literally the direct opposite of Am's on the right, and it looks like actually that they've just got inverse facial hair from a distance.
That's weird to think though that Kearney actually made grade 8. I didn't like
All right,
that.
let's just see
Jones is
how
about to
these
drop some
two
more
go.
oil on track.
Well, we don't know whether Jeff Jones has made it. Has he made it? Yes.
Yeah, he has made
Yeah,
it.
no, he's there. He's just gonna.
If he's about to leave another boatload of oil all over
He's
the track.
about to lay down a second coat, man. He's going back for seconds.
Well, here's the thing that's crazy to me. He was down a cylinder and he kept up to Osbo like that. I have some respect for the man. It just sucks that they didn't catch the oil. That's stupid.
I mean, I don't even know if that. I mean,
They still
I'm
don't
not
know.
even sure if it's
Here's
not
the
even.
problem. When you go through that look, everything looks glossy. I wonder.
I
I bet
don't know
with
if
the
that's
sun
just,
angle and
you
shit,
know,
they just can't tell. They can't see the sheen of the oil from the judges' stand. That's my
You
guess.
see a light of it, but also there's
Well,
another
there's
thing.
probably no oil on there at all. It's probably just the way the track looks. I don't know.
I was gonna say.
No, it's not, because if you watch it, as they come down the hill, watch the way the lights illuminate. They illuminate exactly the track, like a centre line. You'll see it. It'll suddenly go shiny there. That's it, there. And there. That's it, there. Because those are not tyre marks. Like, tyre tread doesn't go shiny as you lay it down. That's oil.
Holy fucking shit. Jesus Christ.
Woo. Jeff Jones might beat Asbo. He's done it! Asbo's just straightened. That is a massive error from Frederick Asbo, and I bet you they pin it on Jones over angling through the keyhole. But he's been doing that all weekend.
That's how much angle they want you to run through there. What the fuck?
I think Jeff Jones just legitimately... Hang on, no, it's going to be a repeat of Andy Gray at Orlando Speed World. You're going to hear in the background someone go, Jones? Question mark? And then that'll be it. It'll go back to Asbo.
I want to see this right here, this view, because right there he's getting too aggressive.
This is what I want to see here.
Jones is doing that zone perfectly, coming back in. Oh,
he went way too wide out there.
And what's even more is actually Osbo fucked up and didn't even actually.
I think that could go one more time, but I think it's still going to go. It's still going to be Asbo's win.
I think it's Osbo.
I don't think it'll be one more time. He doesn't touch him. The car just unsettles. He understeered for a second, threw himself on a.
He was still in drift though. He was still in drift. He didn't straight up. So.
And the crazy thing about that is that area outside or coming out of the keyhole is not a judged area. It's literally you can go inside there, you can go outside. You just have to follow what the lead does, and they have to get back to that inner clip.
Yeah, like all it is, and it's not even an inner clip. It's a touch and go. They've got rid of it as a clipping point.
Dude, if Jones wins this.
No, I mean Brandon's in the chat saying Asbo didn't chase anywhere near as well. He didn't chase anywhere near as well, but I still think you'll end up with Asbo getting the win there. And I'm going to be furious about it because genuinely Jeff Jones probably won that.
For you, by the way.
Go on.
I have something for you.
Is it something to calm me down?
It actually might.
Is it an aggressively large line of coke with a speedball chaser? Because that's probably not what I should have right now. Right, this is the side-by-side. Oh, great shot on that side-by-side. So Asbo's close all the way through the first section. This is where his strength lies. And then as we come through here, Jeff Jones gets closer and closer and closer in the keyhole. And then in the transition, Asbo starts to open up the gap again, but Jeff Jones is pretty close with him still there. But Asbo has to shortcut a huge amount of the track on that transition to stay with Jeff Jones. I think you could legitimately send that one more time. In fact, I would, if it were me, I'd be sending that one more time.
Hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's wrong with the rear end there? What's wrong with the rear end?
Oh! Oh, he's done it!
Oh my god! What?
Well done, Jeff Jones, just knocking out Norwegian Hammer.
Is that correct? Is that correct?
That actually happened.
They're on.
Dan is like, really? That shitty driver got in? Really? You sure?
I just ear raped my entire fucking Discord. Oh my god.
Sorry, I did not expect that. What the fuck?
I am so happy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
am
absolutely
so
thrilled.
happy.
That is
I love
amazing.
Osbo, don't get me wrong. Osbo is one of my favorite drivers, but to see Jeff Jones do that, I am so proud
Yeah,
of him.
absolutely. That was
I am
phenomenal.
so happy.
That was phenomenal.
He won heads up.
Yeah,
Complete
he
heads
didn't
up.
do
He
any.
won.
And he had to call a 5-minute in between. Imagine how that would feel to think I might not even make it back to the line and then pull that out the bag.
I can't fucking believe that. Holy shit.
Right.
Jesus, that is an upset of the night right there. That is one of the biggest upsets.
Me and my team are calling it Jeff Jones and Dean Carney on the podium tonight.
Ooh, that's a big shout. I think what that's
Yeah,
actually
that's
opened
true.
up
I
is
didn't
I
see
think
that.
you're going to see Odie go all the way tonight, maybe.
Yeah, I think
don't
I think
forget
it's
Odie.
gonna be Matt Field or Odie
Odie's
or
one of my
Jones
guys.
winning.
Let's go.
I would love to
I
see
have a-
Jeff Jones take the win here. Can you imagine the sentence when you have to say Jeff Jones is our current championship leader? Jared's going to implode.
Yeah, but I think Matt Field's gonna win tonight.
Oh, holy fuck.
Oh,
Travis
that was
Rayner.
close. Oh, no, look, we got more rallycross. Jesus, Travis. Odie looks so good.
Whoa, whoa, look at the fucking wheel hop out of... Did you see the wheel hop out of him?
Yeah,
Travis
Odie's
Rayner,
looking
though,
aggressive. This is
Yeah, he's got
like
the
Jared
game
just
for
called
it.
it right. This is a different Odie Backchis.
That car is so aggressive.
They have put a lot of time into getting that dialed in real hard.
It's that fuel suspension, TM.
I'm sorry for fucking peeking my mic if I did, and like, I just
That
was
he
not
did?
expecting that.
Did he straighten
I did
through
not
that clip?
expect Jeff Jones to actually fucking win that. What the fuck?
I think Odie got nudged on the entry. If you watch back on that, the first part of that
Okay.
replay, it looked like Odie got nudged on the entry.
Caused a little bit of a straighten there.
Yeah.
Again, I can't imagine that. I thought Frederick Oswald was going to get the win, but fuck, he pulled it off. Can't believe it.
Is wheel hop like that good or bad? Depends on what's causing it. If it's causing it because it's so gripped up that it's compressing, and then when he lifts off, it just jumps up with him, then he's got so much rebound compression in there that it's sort of just jumping the car. It depends on the setup, but that looked like it was to me because that car is absolutely railed in. That's looking fast this year.
I just want to watch Arrow's stream for a sec. I want to see his reaction when Jeff Jones got the win.
That's the X factor. Yeah, of the way that they want to initiate, and it also makes, I think,
Oh, I'm sending this to you.
Oh god. Is it another dick pic? I don't want another dick pic.
No, Ben. You might have to pull this up on the stream, actually.
So it will be a competition timeout for Travis Reeder, Jeff Jones, obviously a big celebration.
Oh god, someone has screen captured me losing my mind. You know that what Josh has just sent me, so that everyone on the streams know. I will try and put it up on the stream later, so that you know why I'm losing my mind. Is that Jeff Jones, when he was shown in the top 16 drivers briefing, is seen doing this sort of head stomp action, and someone has already redubbed it and made it so that it drops with the Venga buses coming, and it is immaculate.
I'm sending it to you, Score. Look, I'm just sending it in the
clip
goddamn
of
chat.
Arrow reacting to Jeff Jones getting the win. Holy shit!
Brandon's just sent a message saying that his bro has just locked his keys in his truck, so he's going to have to go out and help. Yeah, I'll get some doors with you afterwards, dude. I'm going to go and cook a roast dinner after this all finishes. So if the time works, then yes. But if not, we'll grab some next weekend.
Wait, where do I send it, Josh?
No, look in the meme chat. Look in the meme chat.
Put it in the meme chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. But look in meme chat. The thing I sent you.
Everything right now. It's never not funny.
We think from that point forward he may have had that broken right rear, and we noticed that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Start finish line, but nonetheless.
Yes, I fucking love that video.
Oh, I want to see what Aero's reaction was.
And look at that, we are 3/4 way done with top 6.
Come on!
Dean Carney. Next up,
Oh man, Aero loses his mind. That's amazing.
I love Aero. He is good people. But just imagine hearing this as a fucking top 8. Field, Pollock, Gittin, Meyer, Jones, and Kieran. And then we still, and Bakshi, and either Castro or LZ. Imagine hearing half the names on that list after qualifying and saying, you know what, they're gonna make it. They're gonna make a grade A.
This is...
Drifting has lost.
Oh man, Oliver
Drifting
Eppinger
is lost.
Oliver Eppinger captured that bit where I sung about punching someone in the throat and then the dick. Jesus.
Oh, that video of Jeff Jones, that is perfect.
It's perfect,
for
isn't
this
it?
Moment.
It's brilliant.
I can't just unhear it. I cannot.
I really, really hope that Jeff genuinely puts that into.
Oh, he got tagged. He got tagged with it.
I really hope he uses it as his intro theme next time he does a video.
Oh yes, dude. What is it with this? Ooh. I like that mask.
We have 2 more battles left in the top 16. We won't find out until who's going to win here at Atlanta.
Oh my
God. Who is LZ up
No.
against in this bracket?
Castro. He's up against Jonathan Castro.
Shit.
So this is a legitimate chance that. This is a legitimate chance that. I mean, we've seen great drivers tonight make boneheaded moves.
I mean,
so it's like
the way LZ's been driving, he might total his car this next battle.
I mean, I hope he doesn't. But
I hope he doesn't, but it looks like he's
I love
fighting that car tooth and nail.
Who's that? Sorry, I missed that.
LZ.
Yeah, it just
He
looks
is
like
fighting
it's
that
so hard to
S15
drive.
Tooth and nail.
Can I just say the one thing about this thing is FD has pissed off Ben so badly.
It's great.
But it's the fucking fans who make dumb shit out of what has happened that makes it worth watching.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm still fucking just. I'm shitting myself right now. I can't believe he actually fucking.
Go to the
won.
toilet. Don't do it on. Don't sit there and shit yourself, Josh. Go to the toilet. I'm gonna get rid of these. I'm gonna try and do this.
Not literally, it's metaphorically.
I'm shitting myself, metaphorically speaking. I'm going to put the desktop capture on, and I'm going to try and make it so that you guys can see the Jeff Jones Finger Boys moment, because it's...
Yes, because fuck these goddamn commercials.
Right, let's do this.
That truly makes my day.
Ah, that is never. Oh, helps if I put it on the right thing. I'll put it on this while we're waiting for FD to trigger back in. That is amazing. That Jeff Jones thing is just absolutely spectacular. Oh, how much are we enjoying that? So, how much are you guys enjoying FD so far? Are you enjoying what's actually happened so far? We've seen Frederick Asbo knocked out by Jeff Jones, which was amazing. Wasn't that incredible? We've seen that ridiculous situation where it looked like Brandon and Dean Kearney drove over a load of oil left by Jeff Jones before his second half of his battle. Whether that's true or not, it certainly looked like it. But that massive understeer from both of them spoilt what I thought was going to be the best battle of the top 32. We've seen Chelsea Denofa literally crash out of the competition. We've seen Turk take up Rallycross, running wide, taking the Safari line and looking terrible. We've seen a really potentially very dodgy call with Vaughn Gittin Jr. Yeah, what do we think?
Well, okay, Chelsea at least didn't crash this time, but he fucked himself. He Chelsea didn't open it.
He went maximum Chelsea.
And you know what? I'm excited for the next battle between the next two, because it's Matt Field versus Justin Pollock, the two guys who actually got 95s.
Matt Field versus JTP could be an amazing battle, but I'm also going to be sad. Like, I wanted that to be a final.
Yeah.
And what's really annoying is that this new format robbed us of that as the final. And that's the thing that's potentially so annoying, is it only takes one. Like, Matt Fields versus Paulak should be in a traditional top 32. That's our final, no question in my mind. But now we've got it in the Great 8. I mean, that's
the thing that kills me is that fucking Forsberg, of all people, actually fucking...
Yeah, Forsberg out. I'd forgotten about Forsberg going out. I mean, this is an insane top 32.
He went out
Unprecedented.
against Tierney.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy to me.
I mean, this kind of thing, that shake-up whereby we're now saying that Paulak versus Field should have been a top 2 final battle, that is the kind of thing that would have potentially made for a championship that went right the way down to the line. But now, if it's those two, then we're going to say that quite literally, the very first qualifying run of the season could be championship deciding. Now, I get why they're trying to do that for the excitement, but I don't agree with the methodology at all.
I really hope they take a look at this and say, hey, you know, the 24 isn't right. Might be best to do a 16. I hope the drivers get what... Whoa.
Oh, are they finally looking to see if the oil's there? Oh no, they're finding bits of car.
Oh no. Yeah, bits of Travis's car. A spring?
Yeah, a spring. How do you lose a spring?
That'll be something like a wastegate spring then.
No,
I don't know.
It's like the size of your hand. I don't know if you have a wastegate the size of your hand.
No, but a wastegate spring can be that sort of... I mean...
Well, I'm wondering if that's like something that broke off Reader's car, and that's why his rear wheel was jumping so bad.
Or Moen's crash.
Oh! No, that would be. If that's if he's on an E46, isn't it? So that's where the spring is on an E46. It's an independent rear spring. Oh yeah, that would explain why it was jumping so bad. So he probably lost his spring and was just on the shock.
Fuck.
And I go back to what I said right at the top of the last stream. What are people doing turning up to this event with their cars so absolutely not ready for competition? How do you lose a spring during a battle? Are you fucking kidding me?
I wonder if that's why he had to take that time out.
Bumper clip spring. It's enormous for a bumper clip spring. What are you trying to do? Launch the bumper across the track?
Well, because it looked like there was a little bit of contact, or at least something happened on that first corner, close enough that afterwards you can tell the rear end is not reacting the way it should.
Yeah. I mean, that would explain the way the rear end was responding.
Alright, so LZ versus Castro.
LZ versus Castro. Castro is the better driver. Potentially this battle, drifting is the loser.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it, because Castro is erratic as fuck. He's either podium material, or he's out-carred, and he just looks terrible. Oh, we got a full start.
Yep. Now here's the thing I'm wondering. This would be the... Just to fuck with us. This would be the Drift God saying, no, we're actually going to give LZ like a good run for once.
I mean, that would be fine, but all of that pales into insignificance when we can look down and go, is that the Type S Light banner, and Type S are a lighting company? Is that their banner freaking out? That would really make my night. Oliver Eppinger, you look way too stressed, Ben. You need a joint. I need drifting to stop being shit, Oliver! I need them to sort this crap out. It's unacceptable. I don't want to calm down. I want to not have to be angry. There's a difference. Settle petal. Yeah, that's going to make me feel better. Scorp, I think you dropped.
We're going to see.
I think you dropped that.
We're going to see LZ going into one-way kitty litter.
Oh, it's a big call. Let's see. Big flick by Castro. Double initiation pull on that handbrake, though. Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be the interesting one into the horseshoe. This is actually not a bad battle.
Not bad.
I love that the battle we're thinking was going to be the worst battle of the whole fucking night actually looks better.
That was better than some champions pulled off in the top 32 as a battle.
You know what?
LZ has actually got his shit together. I was not expecting that.
LZ actually didn't look as off as he has been.
The thing is, though,
he didn't look as shitty as he did in his last couple of battles.
Well, yeah, exactly. Doesn't it? Sure. But here's the thing: that doesn't it look like what they've done is they've bumped up the tire pressure, or increased the firmness on the suspension. They have definitely dialed some grip out of that car.
Yeah, I think
he doesn't have to bite to catch up after the pole.
Yeah. But it looks drivable. Whatever they've done is working because the car looks drivable again. It doesn't look like it's trying to kill him.
he's looking much better in that.
Wow.
He's putting in some work now.
But
I think he might have an advantage because Castro kind of had a bit of a weird initiation.
Yeah, Castro's initiation you would definitely mark down. I don't want LZ to do badly because I don't like the guy for any particular reason. I hate hype merchants who get hyped up beyond their actual ability, and I don't think he's been worth the hype. But if he's going to drive well, I'm all on board with him having that kind of support. So if this is a good run,
I kind of understand the hype. I mean, he was a rookie of the year.
He's not a
but he was rookie of the year in a year when he had more buy runs than any other driver. Like the gods of luck handed him boatloads of points last year. Like he had some great battles as well. There is no denying that. But he also had a lot of really lucky draws. And I think he's won this battle legitimately. Like, as a judge, I give that one to LZ.
I think he might have.
And Castro almost put it in the wall after the line.
Fucking hell, that was snappy.
I think he caught the fucking dirt.
Yeah, Adam took the last corner pretty shallow.
Shallow. Not a great come out of it, but I think, honestly, if you think about the terms of lead run, Castro didn't have this. LZ missed that in real bad, though.
Proximity, too.
Yeah, I think LZ overall had a better run there. And this is what I'm saying. I don't mind him being hyped up. If he's going to drive really, really well, when he's had good battles and he's deserved to be there, then I'm all for it. But he definitely missed that in a clip on... Well, it's not a clip, it's a touch and go on the way up the hill. It's meant to encourage the line.
Yeah, it looks like he just angled up for that for the exit a bit too soon.
He did the same thing in the first round too. He over-rotated.
Yeah, and then spun out.
I think he's. I think
he's scared to ride out to the curb on exit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think that he's expecting it to feel like it did on the Achilles.
Hang on.
He's throwing it over like.
Here would be another point. He did it at the end of the second run. Do we think that is the Nittos turning off again? Because he's another very smoky driver, and that he's on the same tyre as Vaughn. So do we think that this is just the Nittos getting to the end of the second run and just going, I do not want to be part of this battle anymore?
Notice, like, he's... Yeah, Castro's got no angle, but look at this. LZ, I think he's actually managing his tires better than Vaughn did, but I think it
But that snap, that car does not look like it wants to do that. That looks like a car that just goes, oh god.
Great job, Adam. Really, really well done.
I think LZ won this, and that's going to be an interesting thing because he'll probably have. Yeah, it looks like he's facing Odie because I think Reader's cars.
Ooh, that'll be good.
But if Castro wins this, maybe. Only reason I can see Castro winning this is because his chase wasn't better.
I think you could argue that one down to a one more time. I think if you went lead versus lead, chase versus chase, it's a win in either direction. I think realistically, you want to see that one go again. I think Castro's initiation was dodgy, but the line from Adam LZ as he comes through some of these transitions here, on the way up the hill, Castro does a great job of keeping that proximity.
God, that just shows how gripped he is. If you watch him, he actually goes too wide and over-rotates a bit
and still manages to make up the distance. I mean, Castro could win that. You could argue a one more time.
LZ.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
I can see that.
I can see it.
Yep, okay.
In a perfect world, we would have seen
well,
that.
Unanimous, too.
FD still has all the viewers.
Yeah.
First Adam LZ is here to stay.
Everybody watch the YouTube chat blow up.
You know what kills me about this? LZ's the last battle of each round.
So realistically,
so much for FD's ad revenue, it's crazy.
All right, so yeah, looks like it's just Odie. Yeah, that must have been part of his suspension.
Yeah, that must have been part of
the Falcon liveries, bro.
The Falcon liveries are sick. I've always loved them.
It's the same one every time. It's so boring.
They're
You're
iconic.
boring.
That's the thing. They're boring, but they're iconic. It's like
no one would
Make it
object
much
if someone
better,
started
like-
running the silk cut livery from the old Jaguars or the Camel Williams F1 liveries. You know, like iconic liveries age well, and the Hankook liveries always looked the same, but they weren't bad either. I know, and that's fine. But if you're throwing around the kind of money that Falcon are throwing around, you want to be recognised, and it's not like you don't look at that car and immediately from a distance just go, well, that's a Falcon car.
Yeah, it's iconic. It's literally just a situation of you see it and you know that it's representing.
It's
that
like
company.
Ferrari red.
Remember? Yeah, exactly. Remember back in the day though when fucking, or not back in the day, it was last year when the
Back in the day, back in yonder, the days of yore of 2020.
Yes, the S14.5 when Adam had to borrow Odie's car.
Yep.
And Falcon said you can't run it with the teal and blue, so they just fucking took masking tape and covered all the teal
Yeah,
and
I
blue.
remember that.
That was. It's just a situation where it's like it's also one of those things where it's like they're very, very prideful of their look, which is something I like.
Ryan is sending me messages saying that LZ battle should have been one more time. Well, Ryan is an LZ fan, so I agree with him there.
I mean, I get it. From
Well, I mean, of course he's an LZ fan. He likes tandem bikes.
Ooh, that's a big call. I hope Ryan's watching this stream.
Love you, Ryan. But yeah, so next battles, Matt Field versus Pollock.
I'd be sending that one more time.
That would be a good one, actually. I don't know who could win that. I think Field has it.
Jeff Jones versus No, wait, no.
Next up after that, Vaughn Gittin versus Yves Meyer. I'm actually hoping Yves wins it because I feel like Vaughn didn't deserve to be there. Jeff Jones.
Fucking hell, imagine that. Yves Meyer actually going into the finals.
Well, he'd have to get through Field or Pollock. I don't think he's going through that, but I think he gets to the final.
Well, final four. That's basically the final.
Jeff Jones versus Kearney. What's your guys' thoughts?
I mean, a Jeff Jones that just knocked out
Jones has
Asbo
been
takes
on
the
a
win this
tear.
whole event for me, because he won't.
I'd love to see it.
Jeff Jones runs on happiness. Like a sad Jeff Jones drives badly, but a happy Jeff Jones genuinely drives better. And you saw it last year when he got onto a roll, he just kept going. And the only person that beat a Jeff Jones that was on a roll was Asbo, and he's already beaten him. I can genuinely see Jeff Jones taking the event tonight.
Now, here's the thing. I would love to see it, but I think the guy in the next battle who I feel might win is the only person that could take him out tonight, and that's Odie Bakshis, who's facing Adam LZ.
Yeah.
Because, like Tiendo said, this is a whole new Odie.
Odie's looking seriously strong at the top of this show. Like he's looking.
I mean,
he's looking controlled.
I'm just going to say Odie for the championship, and I'm really fucking hoping he actually wins the championship because he worked his ass off for fucking years, and he's just got.
Doesn't hurt that he's also on your team.
He deserves it.
Yeah, I would like to see Odie take a championship. Without James Dean there, I'd like to see an Odie championship. I'm sorry, if anyone's wondering why we're not currently watching FD, it's because they're showing their adverts, and none of you need to see those. You can go and watch them for yourself. It's, to sum things up, it's something to make your car go faster by plugging into the OBD port and a selection of coilovers and Spec S.
Oh, it's Pedal Commander.
Yeah, Pedal Commander. Get the Pedal Commander. It makes things quicker. No, it doesn't. Doesn't change your map. It just makes your throttle response faster.
Yeah, it's just a throttle LUT. That's all it is.
Kind of like a race car, it responds. Order now and use code.
It's a cool idea, but it's just like,
Yeah, and I could see it like actually having a use in some certain situations with certain cars, you know, with modes and shit. But it's not gonna make your car faster.
No, but it's not as bad as the fuel economy saver for in the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Now here's
hey
Scorp, you want to hear something bad?
To hell with you. Agreed for Odie. Yeah, I'd love to see an Odie championship this year. I really genuinely would. I think he's a great driver. He produces a good product. I think Feel are fantastic coilovers. Let's not take away from that. He produces a really good product. He's a nice guy from everything. I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, that Odie Bakchis, what a dick." It just doesn't happen.
Odie's the kind of guy that would literally drive his car out just to make sure you have something.
Yeah. He's a nice guy.
Well, as long as you pay him.
As long as you pay him. But yeah, he's a businessman at the end of the day. But if he's able to help you out,
cars aren't free.
You know, he's willing to help you out, and that's a great guy in my book. And he sponsors a lot of good drivers. He's got a good working relationship with WiseFab. They seem to like him. Like I don't know if necessarily Field coilovers are the best coilovers in the world, but if Wisefab, who produce probably one of the best lock kits in the world, say this is the company we want to partner with, then you've got to give them credit for producing a great product. And
I mean, on top of that, we saw literally last year well, not last year, the 3 years before, sorry. You know, he went, or Dean and Vidsec worked with Odie.
Yeah.
And their suspensions were not the problem.
No, one of the things they said, one of the things that James said was that actually he thought the Field coilovers were better, but he wanted the longer stroke. The only reason they went to BC was because they wanted the longer stroke specifically for coming off the banks. That was it.
Yeah. Which I bet after that.
Hello, Haley.
Hi.
Hey, Haley.
I'm just sitting there holding my breath.
Josh,
now
shush.
I want
Haley's
this
trying to say
battle
something.
be fucking great.
Server
I
mute.
need an opinion from everybody here, because, like, me and my team are arguing. Does Matt Field's car look better with white rims or black rims?
White
Looks
rims.
better with white rims, but I don't like the rims he's running.
That's a great way to
Yeah,
put it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I love Falcon liveries with the white. Like, Falcon
looks
liveries
great.
with white rims is like perfection.
Best driver to even think about as an example of this was JTP when he ran the blue rims, and then when he switched to the whites.
It looks
the
so
whites
much
just
better.
look so fucking clean.
I just don't like those particular rims that are on there right now.
Yeah, Field has weird tastes, but I know it's because I think he has a partnership.
What about you guys in the chat? What do you think? White rims, black rims on Field's car. Oh, here we go. It's an all-Falcon battle. It's a classic American face-off, Mustang versus Corvette. I'm excited for this to see what happens. And I think Field could check. What is happening with JTP in the background?
Oh, whoa.
What the hell was that? That's the battle over. Like, as long as Field doesn't mess something up, that's the battle over. Like, what was that from JTP? Look at Field filling that outer zone. And JTP straightened. Like, that's a massive error trying to get the car hooked back up. It's a straighten. It's a zero in the back.
Matt Field has just had so much seat time in that car this year.
He just looks good in it.
I wonder if they're gonna say that Field like crossed over in front of him.
I don't think so.
If he impeded,
I think he.
Let's see it.
Because it happened with, literally Field did that as well. He crossed straight over. He did that exact same thing to Osmo, and a lot of people were pissed at him.
But people have been crossing over to that side every single run. Like, that's the lead that has been done by everyone.
He did it right after the cones, though.
No, but you look at the lines. When we go back up, next time it goes to that shot, have a look at the way the tyre marks come across. He was well within what everyone else has done all night. You can see the tyre marks.
Comes out of the cones, too. He just washed a little bit.
Yeah, no, I know the big
spinning
thing
coming
about
around
it
the cones.
Oh,
A lot
I
of
accidentally
people
muted Josh.
were
Oh no,
pissed
Josh.
at him last
Come
year.
back, Oxley. It was just while other people were trying to talk as well. Come back.
Baby, come back.
Baby, come back.
Blame it all on me.
Baby, come back. Right, let's see this. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna call Field against Field or not. They didn't.
I doubt
when
it.
He did it against Osmo, so I feel like that. Because usually it's a gradual one like that.
Come on, Field. I think Field's got this. Because even if you take into account that coming across, then that was a huge number of errors from JTP in the chase position. And Field looks like JTP is normally fast, and Field looks like he's having to rein it in to not run him over in certain sections.
Well,
that Corvette is so dialed.
He's hyper angled. Literally.
Oh, look at those flames!
Ooh,
that was sexy.
Oh, there's some AC backfires.
Oh yeah, that's a new flame. Ben's got he got a hold of my fucking EXP configuration.
Okay, guys, this is just another thing. Matt
Pino.
Field and Odie Bocci's finals.
I would love to see a Matt Field.
I would love to see a Frenemies final. That would be amazing.
That would be great, actually. I love that.
That would be really, really entertaining.
Look at him. He has to grab his e-brake so many times to make sure he doesn't shoot in and.
I'm gonna put this one out there as well. Ready? Despite the fact that I know for a fact it's not the fastest tyre on the grid this year, I'm gonna say Falcon for tyre sponsor winner.
Their cars look way more consistent.
Only reason I think GT will win it is just for the sheer fact that they have more cars than everything.
No, but I don't think the GT... Like, unless you get... The problem with the GT Radial guys is a lot of them are on new builds or struggling with weight category changes, or, you know, there's just a massive number of different issues.
Yep, so Field got that.
Yeah, Field definitely earned that win. This one's going to be interesting.
I think Pollock must have just been trying to...
I wonder if Von Gittin Jr. is going to flump it now.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine if Yves Meyer makes the Final Four off the back of that many mistakes? Maka, hey, how you doing? Maka is one of the actual Tsujigiri drivers. It's Stuart McLachlan, brother of Phil McLachlan. So we've got a pair of brothers in the team, and then Andrea Fabri, our driver out in Malta, and me, and those are the actual real life drivers for Tsujigiri. So hello, how are you doing? Have you come to watch this ridiculous show? In fact, Maka, I know you've not seen the rest of the feed, but if you want to see me literally losing my mind with rage, then go back and have a look at some of the other bits of the feed that we've done so far. Like I honestly go apoplectic, just like incandescent rage.
Did Eve just not have the budget for a livery?
What do you mean? Eve's?
It's just a flat black wrap with a number.
No. Have you
McLachlan.
Have you looked at that closer?
It's literally just a number with sponsors.
That's their livery.
That is their livery.
How it is even on their GT86. It's
Yeah, it's just
balls.
Remember, they're from Switzerland. They're not out here being all like super flashy and shit.
I mean, are you trying to say the subtlety of Switzerland?
They're neutral even in their livery design,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
I love how Challenge breaks. Fuck.
Well. Let's have a look at this then. I think this one's gonna be weird. Can you imagine though? Scorpy's absolutely right. Can you imagine if Vaughn throws this away now? And I genuinely wonder if they're having problems.
Oh God, here we go. We're going to find out right now.
That's
He's getting close.
Doesn't look like it.
Jeez.
Oh, but Eve is...
Eve's doing well. Am I able to turn your quality up on the FD stream? No, that is actually it streaming in HD from the FD stream.
Did Vaughn come to a stop?
I think Vaughn came to a stop.
Houston, we do not have a problem. Eve takes one of those cones as a souvenir all the way home.
I think Vaughn came to a stop. Almost completely, absolutely standstill.
I bet the judges are gonna give it to Gittin though for that. I don't think from some of the decisions made today. No, he was there with him.
This is the bit I want to see. This on the replay when they come in here. This is important because Eve does shortcut. Vaughn loses a lot of speed there.
Yeah.
But absolutely drives out of it like there's no issue at all. As he's transitioning right here, you can see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he's got no speed. No speed.
He lost all momentum.
Slowed the hell down there.
I think those tyres this year are going to be a problem. I genuinely think the Nitto tyres have got some kind of fundamental issue. Look here, this. He just...
Right here, just goes to too much angle thrown it through that back zone.
I think they... Because this is a new tyre rule. This is a new tyre rule this year. They're insisting that they're a maximum of a 200 tread wear on the sidewall, what it's rated as. But they've also had to submit a load of samples so that they're actually then on the durometer coming in within a certain range. I wonder if Nitto have turned up with a tyre that's not fit for purpose.
Oh shit!
Because it's a different compound to what they would normally run. Because you'll notice that when RTR switched across 2 years ago, there was a load of stuff about.
Did Vaughn just raise his hand out the window like a child in class?
Well, it's how you get the attention of someone. He's calling a competition timeout.
Oh yeah.
Eve
From
Meyer
that
might
tap, he
genuinely get
probably-
through to the final on the basis of other people dropping out.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. His suspension isn't right.
Yeah, something's up with his.
Hello, Ian. Have you come to watch me get angry as well?
Yes, I've come to get angry with you.
I mean, that was
Yay!
That was some pretty big contact into
It
those
was
front
big
wheels.
contact.
There was a lot of momentum transferred there.
So Matt Field shit on Denofa. Pollock
And
didn't
Pollock.
probably shit on
Denofa shit on himself.
Yeah, Denofa shit on himself. All weekend, Denofa's not looked the best.
Getting one. Oh, Mayor beat.
It's got to be the tires. Both Gittin and Denofa struggling.
Yeah, I think there's a genuine problem with the tires. But also look at Asbo. Asbo looked fast in that first run, and then he had a problem in the second run. He was not quick in the second run.
Yeah.
And then Adam LZ was throwing it absolutely broadside across the final section. I think those Nitto tires have got a problem this year, genuinely, because that is all of the Nitto drivers throwing down runs that looked uncharacteristic.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with the cars outside of that. I mean, we're talking about number 1 and 2 in the championship last year.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing.
Those
Ben.
those Mustangs are set up already.
This is bad here, but you know what tracks are the biggest tire killer?
Well, I mean, always Irwindale.
And Orlando.
Yeah.
And Monroe. And also Erie's supposed to be a bank as well.
Yeah.
Oh, this should be a good fucking battle.
Well,
What would you do if LZ magically won the whole thing? Well, first of all, he's going to have to go past Eve Meyer, who seems to be blessed by the gods themselves. So
He had to go through Odie.
I'd punch a hole in my monitor if
I would seriously reconsider my opinion of watching Formula D as a genuine motorsport if Adam LZ takes this. Like if he does it on merit, then fine. But if it starts being something weird, then we've got real serious questions. That battle with Castro, I can genuinely see how he won that. I still think that he lucked out in his first battle because of the rule change. But this one's going to be the crucial one, is whether we see whether Vaughn has got tyre left at the end of this, because he was visibly faster than Eve through the first part of the course.
Oh, Eve's too shallow.
But look, Vaughn's dropping back. Vaughn's dropping back. And now he's had to surge up.
Oh, he's dropped a tire.
Dude, yeah,
Eve's gonna win this.
Eve Meyer is going to win this.
Eve's gonna win this. Oh my god.
No, the big thing,
Dude,
okay, no. It's the tires.
The
It's the
biggest thing is
tires.
who's going to deem
Adam,
fault
it's
for the
all
contact.
based on if Eve just bricks his fucking chase here, but I doubt he
No,
will.
they've already had the chase.
They've already done it.
They
They've
had the
already done it.
contact. They had
They've already
contact.
done it.
Vaughn, I think Vaughn came to a standstill, but I do think Eve was on the
It
inside.
depends on if the judges consider that situation with Eve's chase as Eve's fault or
Yeah, it's going to come down to fault in the first
excessive
run.
slowing.
Yeah, dude, he got
My
so
eyes
shallow.
getting
tires are
just
gone.
lost all momentum.
And
I
his-
think
yeah,
that's
and his-
I think this battle goes to Eve.
For me,
Yeah, no,
Vaughn was unchaseably slow through that the transition through the keyhole. Well, before the transition
Yeah,
in the
he
keyhole.
lost all
Coming from the
of it.
outside zone to the inside zone, I think Vaughn
get doing that
that.
dual faults. That's the thing that's crazy.
Oh my god.
That's Vaughn.
Yeah, they're calling.
Oh.
So they're saying Eve's dropping that much line.
Oh
through
my
it
god.
is what-
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise.
I don't like that.
That
I
is
don't
a
like
Yeah.
that is a
Ryan
bullshit
Snyder's
call.
That
is
But
a
you know why
bullshit
they're
call.
calling it, right? Because it's
They're saying Eve's at fault for that contact.
Hey,
Have you come to get angry with us,
you guys are
Ryan?
still there. Are you guys still out there? Make some noise.
Eve's not at fault for that. What the?
I saw you, young.
To be fair,
Boo.
Haircut on the fence. You gotta make some
from
noise.
what I could see on that contact, it looks like an unnecessary detail from Vaughn. But
Yeah.
100%.
having watched 2 or 3 runs before it, where Pollock did the same thing,
Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, moms, grandmas.
That's just
the thing
Such
the
ridiculous
thing I
call.
have with it is, was he making the clip if he hadn't have touched them?
I think the thing for me here
He would have made the
is-
clip just slow as
No,
hell.
I think the thing for me here is I can see where they're coming from a little bit if they're saying that contact wouldn't have happened if Eve Meyer had been on the line that Vaughn was on. Now, for me, I think that Eve was carrying enough speed that if the proximity had been the same as they both came through that outer zone and they tucked onto the inside, I think that contact happens anyway, because it looks to me like Vaughn drops an absolute fucking anchor out the back and just stalls up because he throws so much angle at it, and I just don't think those tyres are working for that car this year. But if they're saying that it's only contact because Eve's coming through that inside tighter line, then that's almost justifiable, but I think they're wrong. I think that contact was happening anyway, because that decel was just immediate, just chopping the speed off.
They just give the window on no matter what.
Here's the thing that bugs the shit out of me. How the fuck is Dean younger than Jeff and looks like he's like twice his age?
Dean Kearney looks like he's gone through 3 successive, really miserable divorces in the last 45 minutes. Like, that looks like a man whose life has fallen apart immediately, repeatedly, catastrophically.
I think I know who I'm going for, guys. We're going to go for fucking Jeff Jones.
Oh, I want Jeff Jones to win this. In any other battle, I'd probably be on Dean Kearney's side, but Jeff Jones, I want Jeff Jones to carry the momentum. I want this to be his event. Oh, Dean's hit him! Dean's hit him!
Oh! Kearney throws it away.
Took it like a champ.
Remember, take it like a pussy.
Jeff Jones looks good this event.
And this is probably Kearney's best track.
Yeah, this is definitely Kearney's best track.
Kearney's just not been driving well.
Kearney's coming in with so much momentum.
Kick-ass qualifying run.
There's been I have noticed a massive difference this event in entry speeds.
Yeah, Kearney's coming in way faster than Jones.
You're the best human being in the world.
Little love tap there from Dean Kearney.
I just want everyone to notice that I have just been handed a whole pizza to keep my sense of rage fully intact, because Steph is the best human being in my universe right now.
Steph, the true MVP.
Look at it! Look at the quality of that homemade pizza. I'm genuinely excited. It's homemade. The whole thing's homemade.
Homemade? That's even fucking better.
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, it's still going. It's still stretching. It's still stretching. Oh, we're at 40 centimeters and still dilating.
I'll just come already.
Jesus Christ.
I don't see what's happening on this. I'm not watching the stream right now, so hearing you say that is really fucking bad.
It's so hot, but so good.
Dilated, it keeps stretching.
Oh, it's stretching again.
This has turned into a food stream. I am so happy with this.
Sometimes I think that Steph sometimes is less of your partner and more your caretaker.
That's basically what's happening.
Yes.
That's hot. Homemade dough. Yeah, it's homemade dough. That's hot. I know. I look great eating stuff, right? I ended up getting an extra 3 subscribers earlier when I erotically ate a banana at the camera. I'm legit thinking about setting up an OnlyFans. I reckon I could make money. Like, someone has a thing for slightly chubby dad bod men eating food in an erotic way. I'm here for it. It's amazing.
Worse, that or the fact that everyone actually raised enough money on the Patreon to fucking make you do next round drunk.
Oh yeah. Those of you who missed the stream earlier, I made a joke that I would be able to do the stream for the competition next week as drunk as Jared Dienda probably is right now, and I said I would do it if we got to £300 on the Patreon on the sign-ups, and a number of people have immediately donated money to try and get us there. So it looks like next Friday's stream, I'm doing Slaughtered Out of My Mind Drunk.
And I'm really upset that I'm not going to be able to make it.
I really hope that no one is expecting a good stream next week from us. While it's the adverts, you can watch me eat
Can't
food
be worse
instead.
than the last one.
Oh, look at it! Look at it! It's so delicious.
Right,
Can we all be drunk then, even the drivers? If you want to get drunk at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning with me, Brandon, you are more than welcome. Make sure you go and sign up this week.
Ben? You're assuming we're not already drunk. I mean, ask Ryan. He was, what, 2-3 beers down by the time our battle came around?
Chris Ennis is drunk while judging, so, you know. So, in a Jeff Jones, another timeout for Jeff Jones after that contact, which he wasn't deemed at fault for. Do we think Jeff Jones makes it to the end of the end of the event with the car still intact, or do you think he gets knocked out by a technicality?
Now here's the thing. I think he wins this. I think he gets through this. I hate to say this, I don't think he gets through Odie, but I know the car's not going to be fucked up with Odie because Odie at least knows how to drive it.
Odie's one of the cleanest chase drivers.
The car finished the run, so push comes to shove, we can run it like that, can't he?
One of the cleanest chase drivers, in my opinion, is Wycheck. Wycheck is fucking crazy. I mean,
It's a good thing he's not there.
Here's the thing. I hate to say this. The reason why I disagree with that is it's like, for the longest time, just struggled.
Oh god, who asked an American for their opinion?
Well, no, that's the thing. He chases with a lot less angle, so he's able to keep up, and I think that's due to the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think like him on Bolino this year will be so much better. But if he keeps doing that, I'm gonna be pissed because it's like there's so much more he could do. Every time he battled James, most times he lost because James somehow found a way to keep angle in the car.
Those Falcons this year look like butterballs.
Wang, but we're not going to talk about that one.
He will literally be too fast if he does the same driving style that he does on the Bolinos to chase properly, so he's going to have to run more angle. That's just what's going to happen.
I think Piotr this year, it's going to depend entirely on whether he can get used to it with the driving style, because he is so used to taking the angle out in the chase position in order to maintain that proximity.
Yeah.
If he does that with the Valinos, he will be going through someone's door.
You know who I think wins this season of DMEC, especially since James isn't going to be there the whole year?
Hang on, sorry, to hell with you. I'll change my subscription on the Patreon and compete blasted with you. Cool, let's all just get drunk on my Saturday morning. It's your Friday night, it's my Saturday morning. I don't have to do anything for the rest of the day. I just sit here with you cretins and enjoy myself. Right. The adverts are over, and I've advertised Steph's Pizza enough. Let's go back to this.
Finally, we're done watching the same ads that we've watched for the past 4 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, but I cut away from them so you can watch me eat instead. That's better, right?
Get ready to channel your inner rage, Ben, because he's back up. Cue the LZ spam in the
Here
chat.
we go. LZ, dude, is that Adam LZ BMX?
Is that Craig? Is that Craig?
Dude, is that Adam LZ BMX?
Is that Greg?
Why is the text on LZ's side more bold than the one on Odie's side?
Well, because they actually had to make...
Because they don't want you to look at his mustache.
Well, no, I think also because they had to scale down Odie's...
Right, here we go. Let's see this. This one's exciting.
S15 battle.
Oh, Buckies!
Oh, and LZ's taking him off track.
Oh!
Adam LZ did Chelsea to know for things.
Well, they have been driving a lot together.
Take a look at this.
Well, there goes a bunch of shit.
I think he...
Well, there goes a bunch of shit talk to Adam.
So when everyone kept on saying to me, what are you going to do if Adam LZ makes it to the final? I'm not going to have that problem because Adam LZ is not a final-worthy driver and he just proved it once and for all. And get that guy off my fucking screen.
He just threw back.
I'm so sick of the hype to do with a guy that can... Like, when he was driving well, I'm willing to accept it.
Oh my god, the chat by LZ. Lol, LZ, rip LZ.
Look at this impact as well.
God, he just didn't scrub any speed at all.
I want to see the video.
He just went straight plowing.
People are saying that Odie is fucking great, Jay. Wait, what?
Well, hell no. Odie was already in drifting.
That entire section is on their throttle map. They call it a momentum section.
It's fucking simple. What happened? It's so clear what happened. He threw absolutely no angle on his flick, and then just flew into the side of him. If you look at when he initiates, he's practically driving straight.
Oh my god,
See?
yeah.
That's all it was. It's literally that simple.
How can you?
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah, dude, that is clearly Adam's fault.
Half of the FD YouTube chat just left. Oh man. Oh, this is not a top level competition.
The problem with LZ isn't LZ, it's LZ's fans. That's the most annoying thing about it.
Yeah, no, LZ is probably just like.
I actually like the guy. I genuinely like the guy.
I genuinely respect his work ethic. Oh yeah, no, he is. He's better than others. But like, I've taken shits that are better than other shits. It doesn't make him a good thing.
Yeah. By the way, that's from Pino. He also says he can't thank you enough for the help you did with that RX-7.
Is Road Atlanta sponsored?
So it passed. It passed.
I believe it did. Yes.
Checking. Yeah.
Why is the cleanup car's a fucking Chrysler van?
I mean,
what?
America!
Wait a minute, why can't I not see Jeff Jones on track?
Maka, here's the one thing. I will say LZ is pro material. He's just not top tier pro material.
I mean, that's also a brand new
Towards
engine.
the end of last season, he
last year especially
really looked like he.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't think
Dude, he was going toe to toe with a bunch of pros. He beat Turk.
Yeah,
I mean, Turk threw it away. He could have beat Forsberg, but they gave it to Forsberg. Should have been a one more time.
Yeah, he should have beat Forsberg.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He should have gotten it one more time. Judges.
Yeah, he should have beat.
They did
Forsberg
judge
there.
things.
Now here's the thing. I don't think he. I think the problem is he's.
I think the problem is he's not used to the amount of grip he has in the car now. And his,
I think the biggest problem he has is his tires.
He's changed. Yeah, he's changed tires, hasn't he?
That car is so
Achilles
fast.
decided. Yeah,
He's got the good tires now.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I think his car for last year was more balanced.
Yeah, the car was way better balanced last year, and I think this is the thing: is this shows the inexperience level. Is that he has just thrown grip at the car. He's got that, like we talked about it in the last stream. He's got that big old bag of grip. They found it. They tipped it all out over the car, and they did nothing else to it. And they just went, "This car is now more competitive," and that's just not how drifting works.
This is actually what I was talking about earlier. This this video. Look at what Field does.
Oh, they
this
brought
is
it up.
why a lot of people are pissed. Right there, because that's what he did. Well, no,
I'm biased. I'm biased because I just don't like Asbo anyway. So.
Bubba, the thing is though, Achilles got bought. Actually, I thought it was by Goodyear versus Michelin, and they pulled Achilles out of FD, which is funny because Michelin's on the fucking signs. But you know,
yeah, it's because the track, because it's the tracks.
It's sponsored by. But no, it's just one of those things where it's like it sucks because Achilles was not a bad tire. For
why did he show what's essentially a beef video between?
Achilles won the championship a few times.
Field and
Achilles is a great tire for a certain power level. I think the power that fucking Dean was running with him, he burnt the tires too quick.
Yeah, and the problem was that they didn't have a wide enough tyre. The biggest Achilles you could get was a 285, and Dean Kearney's car is actually, and has always been, the correct weight for something like a 315 or at least a 295. But you couldn't get one from the Achilles. So they had the power and the weight of a much more gripped up car, but didn't have the rubber to throw under it. And this year it looks competitive because he's on, I think, a 295 or a 305 or something. And it looks better, it looks better balanced. But Adam LZ's gone the other way. They had a car that was well balanced, and it looks like they've just tipped a load of grip on it, and haven't then made the adjustments required to make the car competitive with the extra grip that it's got there. It needs another 150 or 200 horse to drive the same but faster.
To tune for the Volinos.
Here's the other thing about it. I don't like it for the sheer fact that he was struggling to keep that car from grenading last year so many times.
Yeah.
That engine. So it's like, unless he's making a big change or his engine, or maybe
he has
built
a complete
He
new
did.
engine.
He has.
It's
He's
a
got a new
complete
engine. He's got a dry sump system now.
Dry sump now, yeah.
And the dry sump broke yesterday. They had to fucking repair it before qualifying.
Yeah, well, shit breaks though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but no, the
thing is, and I will say in his defense, did you watch him at Atlanta last year? It was just a shit. He seems to just struggle with this track, specifically the entry. Like he went off in. It just doesn't. I don't like it. It does not promote.
It's so bad.
Close battles.
Controversially for me, I think it's the problem with it is that it is the total opposite of most American drifting, because it is a high-speed entry into a decel, and frankly, none of them are used to it.
Well, no. Here's the reason why I hate St. Louis, and this is going to be a little controversial. It would not be a problem if that part coming out of the super tight part there was a little bit wider, because you see drivers go and hit that inner cliff and then just drop angle as much as possible to run away and then flick it into that last part. Only driver I saw that didn't do that was Denofa. That's because he ran a wide swing, and then dove back in.
Yeah.
And problem is the way that they put that out on the course map over the last 2 years. That's not what they were asking the drivers to do. It was literally Denofa saying, "Fuck this shit, I'm driving my way," and Fontaine literally just goes, "I loved the way that looked." So I'm like, you know what? I hope if they go there, that's the way they want to run it. If it's like that particular line he took, because that will run so much better. You don't have to cut angles in the power section. Alright, Kearney and Jones are back up.
Oh man, I'm fucking nervous right now. I want Jeff Jones.
I want Jeff Jones to get this. I want Jeff Jones to get this. I really.
I want Jeff Jones to get this, but I'm also like, you're like,
I love
you know
his
what?
crew.
Kearney is straight up not a bad driver.
No, he's not.
Especially on those Mexicans, he shows a lot. What the fuck's going on in the background?
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing the Jeff Jones thing, bro.
They're doing the Jeff Jones thing. That's it. They're in the background giving it the old Venga bus.
I love this.
Come on, Jeff.
Oh.
I mean, this is a good line from Kearney. This is potentially enough to start to bring the fight back to him from
Jeff
Kearney.
Oh
no! Oh, Kearney's dropped a tyre.
Oh shit!
And now look at Jeff Jones absolutely buried in the side of that car.
And now
can I just say something real quick? Kearney, he yeeted that fucking clip.
And Jeff straightens.
Right now, no, he didn't. He didn't straight.
He didn't straighten.
Like
I think Kearney got off throttle. It looked like Kearney got off throttle there, and that's why they kind of like
Jeff Jones has got car issues.
I'm
By
talking
the looks of it,
about on
that's
the
not
exit.
driving straight.
Yeah, definitely something with the suspension after that hit.
Can you imagine Jeff Jones getting Final Four despite having a broken car? The pump he will have for the rest of the season would be phenomenal. Like he legitimately straight up beat Frederick Asbo in a toe-to-toe fight with both of them with working cars. Right, this is.
Asbo didn't cry about it.
Did Adam literally just throw himself out of the competition there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so he just lost his battle completely. Oh no.
Yeah, no, he yeeted himself into the lead driver on entry.
Yeah,
the biggest problem, I feel like
battle. I didn't know if they weren't doing a chase because of it, and apparently they are.
Well, no, because Odie's got 10 minutes to get the car fixed because he wasn't at fault.
Yeah.
So Adam gets his 5 minute if he calls it, but Odie gets the 10 minutes because he's not at fault.
Right.
You know what I feel the issue with LZ is? He looked awful in qualifying.
It was just the fucking entry. That's the only issue with that. It's just
well, no.
his entry had no angle.
It's not only that, but it's just like it's something I deal with a lot when I am dialing in my car. It's a situation of the car drives awful. The car drives awful. I make an adjustment. I run the car one lap. It's like this was good. I run it another. This was good. I can deal with this. Get a little overconfident. Third run you do, you flub the fuck out of it.
Thing is, how many practice runs did they get at the moment though? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah, 12.
He broke his car. He broke his car during practice.
I can tell you right now.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I think
Jeff went off.
Kearney got this, guys.
Yeah,
Jeff dropped tires in his chase. I didn't even notice it first run around.
I think that could go one more time legitimately. Kearney's lead was
I
fast
think
but
that's-
scrappy.
I
It
think
was
it's
wild.
Kearney.
But I think you could give it. You could justify giving it either way, and no one would bat an eye.
Because Kearney was just like, I can fucking win this if I just
And
absolutely.
Kenny's off was a bit.
I mean, watch Jeff here coming
That's
through
deep.
this.
That is deep and a massive slowdown, and then Kearney slows up so much it forces Jeff off track.
Jeff's got, yeah, he's got nowhere to go.
He's the cause of that contact right there. But still,
Yeah,
on
that's-
this transition,
that's
Jeff
Jones.
gained no ground.
Yeah, no, I think Jones got this. Well, I mean, you gotta think though. He
It's
looks
either
like he's had.
Kearney wins this or it's a one more time.
Ian, I think it's actually more it's Jones wins or it's OMT because that mistake there was
One more
big.
time. One more time.
Ooh, I'm-
Oh, it's one for Jones.
Oh!
He's on it.
Jones got it! Oh God, we gotta get arrows.
I'm so pleased for him.
I don't have my soundboard on right now. Fuck.
Oh, I'm so happy for Jeff Jones. That's awesome.
That is so sick.
I love this. I jump into arrows stream real quick. All I hear is the party don't stop. Let's go. It's a, yep.
Look at them in the background doing. Hang on. Shush. It sounds like LZ's had to pull out. Yeah, LZ's pulled out. Well, there you go. That's how you don't become a pro-level driver, is you don't yeet your car into someone else and remove yourself from competition.
Again, I still think it's just a situation where he just fucked himself. He mistimed it, got a little too...
He didn't mistime it. Ryan's absolutely right. He was basically straight line handbrake dragging, trying to slow down into people.
Yeah.
No, and also on Kearney and
It depends on if he was
if
Odie got
after the uphill.
if Odie got away from if he got away from it at the start and he was trying to play catch up, that's probably why he was doing it. But you know, Odie had like twice the angle, which the car was obviously decelerating at a rate that LZ car just wasn't going to do in a straight line.
Adam's not used to how fast his car is.
No, I think that's a really good comment, is if they have managed to grip that car up so much, I just don't think he's yet mentally adjusted himself to the point where he's able to slow down enough, because that car will be going in... Oh, Stephanie... Hang on, let me give you this.
That car is way faster than it was last year.
You're the most incredible human.
I think it's all about the rubber.
Stephanie is...
This is gonna be so sick.
Now I'm getting given chocolate. I'm having a great day.
Jones and Bach.
I'm angry, caffeinated, well-fed, and highly sugared. This is spectacular. I'm in my happy place.
Ben, you better take this woman out sometime this week.
At least we can say the final four is actually gonna be decent.
Truly caretaker.
I mean, Gittin shouldn't be here, but.
Imagine if it was
Shush.
The team was trying to watch the entire assembly.
I'm gonna put the camera on him, or.
I'm so sorry, Adam.
There.
Sheesh. I mean, my guy's like so close.
Oh my God.
Maybe like 2 seconds to go. Really, I didn't know I had to.
Oh my God, they got. Oh no.
If we made those seconds, the car wasn't running, so we
guys.
Anyway.
They changed up.
This was a great display. I mean, my team
Arrow and them changed up the song for fucking drum and bass. Like total Slav music. It's like, this is Jeff Jones and RDS. I'm like, yes.
Bro, this shit is hilarious. The Jeff Jones meme, I can't.
No, it's amazing, isn't it?
I love it.
It just keeps on giving.
So here are the next battles: Field versus Gittin.
Now,
I'm tempted.
Just saying sheesh. Oh my God.
I'm saying Field's gonna win against the Gittin.
Yeah, I think Field could take the event today. I think Field could well come out of this as P1.
Field and Jones final. Come on.
No, I want to see a Field and Jones final, but I really want to see a Frenemies final. Field versus Bakchis final.
Odie, but I want him to.
From what it sounds like, there's no
Oh, he gets a
Where's Jeff?
LZ pulled out.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
this
no,
is the other half of the
this is his
battle.
buy run.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a buy run for Grade 8.
Yeah, he has to prove that the car can run. Even just getting off the line, he's good.
Yeah, all he has to do is move forwards. There we go.
What sucks is
And
LZ
Odie's the winner.
proved all of his haters right.
He's got it. Right, let's put on a show. Odie. Show us what you
to be
got,
honest,
bud.
I really don't give a fuck. I really don't think he gives a fuck about his haters anyway.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if I was
Ooh,
worth
no.
that much money, I would be
What a
perfectly happy
clean
with all of the
run,
rage.
too.
Here's the thing with LZ. This is the only thing I don't like about LZ. Every time he talks about the car, it sounds like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on with
Yes!
the car.
That's the real problem for me.
It's because he
has no
doesn't.
idea.
Because he has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no,
No,
it's
he has
literally
nothing
just
to
the
do
car
with
is
his
made for
program.
him.
It's
and then
given to someone. That is the only car out of his that is given to someone, and they set it up how they want it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's just gonna have to adjust that. But like, if you think about his other cars, the 180, he knows the ins and outs of that car.
Yep.
Same
Yeah,
with
and I
the
think that is a
Turk.
noticeable
Turk,
difference.
it's like what we were saying earlier with Turk. When Turk was a YouTuber, his driving suffered because he wasn't focusing on it as much.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's a major
And
problem
Adam
that these guys
Adam
have.
cannot make YouTube content on that pro car because I mean that's just
Honestly,
throwing it
I would,
away.
I would
I
love
mean,
to. Well, the problem with it is that
you don't really
you
do
do
that for
content on that,
competition
you
with sponsors and shit. You give
Yeah,
away
so-
everything. You're gonna make people know exactly how to counter you.
Yeah, but it's
It's one of those things that it's not a given thing, but people would be hesitant to do it just because of
Yeah.
that. Like
I mean,
these,
there's reasons why you don't see Vaughn doing it, or
Exactly.
Turk doing it, or only
there is
person
an
I've ever
element of
seen-
Because
secrecy
they're-
to
it's
the car
not
setup.
just-
only person I've ever seen do an in-depth thing on their build
was
is
Field.
Papadakis.
No, and Matt Field as
Oh, and
well.
Field.
Matt
And
Field did
Field,
the
yeah.
build as well.
Oh, and Odie did too.
Odie did as well,
for when
yep.
he was-
Yep.
So the Falcon guys and then the Papadakis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
those
because
guys have
Papadakis was proving
those guys have jobs. Like the rest of the other guys that aren't doing it have jobs on the side though. This is LZ's job.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of
He
the
doesn't-
problem
I-
for
he
me
don't- I
here
don't
is
think
I
he
feel
has an
like he
excuse,
should know
to be
exactly
fair.
what he's doing with his pro car, and like he's coming into this as a guy who does not have a huge amount of experience. So I don't think there's going to be anything that he's doing with his build where anyone who's been in Formula D for the last 10 years is going to take one look at it and go, "Oh my God, how did we not think of that little trick for the last 10 years?" He's not going to suddenly come in and revolutionise drifting. He's going to, and the stuff he's running is tried and tested. It's an S body with a 2J, with a sequential gearbox, with a Winters quick change rear end, with Wisefab on a coilover. Like, it might be a spectacular build, but there isn't going to be anything there in there that's monumental. But
It's just a normal build.
it feels like he doesn't really know what's going on with that car in its ins and outs and in what's on it and in its proper setup. And I feel like if you went and spoke to him and said, right, what did you change on your alignment for this event? I feel like he wouldn't give me a straight answer. And I think it would be because he might not know. And now that might be a horrible injustice, but it feels when you look at what he's talking about, when it just this car, like he's not as switched on with it. And you can't come into a competition and not know your car back to front and forwards backwards. It's.
I think.
Here's the thing.
Before you go,
Hang on, Josh. Go on.
Before I forget this, but I think you'll find if you went over to him and asked him what his alignment was and what he's changed, he'd tell you. The difference is, I don't think he knows what that difference does.
No, I think that might be
He probably knows the
fair.
numbers behind it and what was done, and they'll tell him what was done, but I don't think he actually understands the difference that.
I think
that
this is a
makes.
fair comment. I think his technical understanding of the finer points of higher level drifting is still missing. Now, this is where my main issue with Adam LZ comes into it. It's not because I don't like the guy, it's because I think that his standard of driving is getting better, but I think he hasn't done the yards to get the understanding, and I think he's in a car that's doing a lot of the work for him, and I think that there are a lot of drivers who are out there who don't have his kind of money who could get in that car and podium. Now, that's not his problem, but if you're going to put yourself in that position and you've got that kind of backing and you've got the car, I feel like you should be making the effort to get the understanding to make things work. It's like the thing that sticks out for me is he got out of the RTR car and he went, I don't understand how the dragging the handbrake resets the suspension and makes the car faster. And you're sat there going, that's an obvious thing. You should know this. This is something you are a Pro 1 driver. You should understand what happens with the car when you make that kind of adjustment to the input. You should get that.
He does understand it. I think the problem is
Well, I mean, the biggest issue is it's not even an issue. The biggest take home is at the end of the day, he's 25 years of age as well.
He's got time as well to learn this. Yeah, he's got time to learn this as well, and he's doing really well for his age. And we should, I respect what he's achieved as a YouTuber and the position he's got himself into, and I think he is an above average driver, and he is definitely better than other drivers that are in FD Pro 1 right now. But that's not so much congratulations to him as a damning indictment of the state of FD right now. The fact that we have 7 guys who didn't get a run in that was not a 0 in the very first qualifying of the year is, and I'm going to keep on hammering this point, fucking pathetic. From the highest level of motorsport in this category in North America to have people who can't complete a run. Are you fucking kidding me? In what universe is that acceptable? So if we're saying Adam LZ has a right to be there, it's not because he's a tier 1 driver, it's because the FD Pro is now a tier 2 competition.
Well, okay, here's the thing. When you're going into your first run of competition in, what? Like, what are your first qualifying run in 700 days? That's a lot of nerves, especially, like, even for some of the newer guys. Plus, on top of that, just shit happens. I mean, the issue I'm having with that one statement is that because they did it, nobody double zeroed. That's the big thing. If it was a situation where literally the drivers could not come out and do 2 scoreable runs, I would be pissed. I would be like, you know what? No, he put down a scoreable run. Nobody double zeroed.
I don't know why I thought that.
No, his first run was awful. He got it through the course the second time. And that car is progressively looking better each run he does. That last run
that's absolutely fair, and the car is looking better each run he does. But why are we taking the first round of competition to get that car sorted?
He gets leeway from me just because I seen how shit he was on this track last year.
Oh yeah, and he's definitely better, and he's making an improvement. But you don't turn up at the top level of competition and go, right, I'm here now to polish my driving. You turn up at the top tier of competition to go, holy fuck, guys, I'm here, fuck you.
Well, no,
the problem then isn't him, the problem is the FD licensing system, because they give him a license.
No, I know, and that's exactly what I said in the first round. When I said this is a problem, this is not a problem. Like, I don't blame Adam for this problem. If FD are willing to say, congratulations, you're a Pro 1 driver, then he should be a Pro 1 driver. I don't have a problem with Adam being there because of who he is. Adam has the right to be there that has been given to him. So if he's not fit to be there, and if other drivers are not fit to be there, and if their program is not fit to be there, that is 100% FD's issue. No question.
Like they said earlier, he wasn't planning on doing Pro 1 last year.
I know.
The only reason he did it was because they had the double headers. He
I know.
went into it thinking, I'm going to get the experience, I'm going to suck this seat, but I'm going to get the experience and I'll come out.
And I think that's the reason he was better last year, because the events were so confined and closer together. He got way more.
He got more seat time.
Yeah, it was constant seat time through a weekend, whereas like this car got maybe.
All right, here comes a good run. Here comes the fun battle.
Field versus on.
We're all ready for this one.
Also, Adam had more seat time in his car last year, even before competition started.
No, that's true as well.
This is America.
Yeah, no, that car has more power, more weight, more tire, but he hasn't had as much chance
The most
to dial it.
American battle of tonight is happening.
No, this is the second time that they've had a Mustang versus Corvette face-off, because Field had to go through JTP.
Well, no, and he had to go through Denofa.
Yeah, so he's actually gone through every single Mustang. Matt Field looking ripper through there. Heading off to watch final in bed. Banter has been fun to listen to. Take it easy, Maka. We'll talk to you soon. Ooh, this is a battle. Oh, and Vaughn screwed it.
Vaughn had
another wobble there.
see
Just one thing I will say.
Did you see the Fields uphill? Did you see the uphill that Field had? That was ridiculous.
Wait,
Yeah.
did Vaughn?
Dude, he swung
open at the
perfectly into that outside.
Yeah, Vaughn fucked up.
I think Vaughn fucked up.
He did, he did, yeah. Just
he
watch the
made an
decel from
adjustment.
Field. No, was the same as what Vaughn did
Right
last. Watch
here?
this.
Dude, he took
Watch
that
now.
perfectly.
See? That's exactly what Vaughn
Oh, it is the same decel.
Oh my god.
And then Vaughn wobbles on the way out of the keyhole.
It's the tires, bro. It's the
I think it
tires.
is genuinely the tires. I
It's the
really do
tires,
think it
it's-
is.
He doesn't start
made a
making
small
mistakes until the back
adjustment.
half of the run. It's when those tires get hot, they just turn into butterballs.
Jesus Christ! How he didn't hit him.
Whoa! Watch my screen real quick. Watch him go into the keyhole. He's doing a lot more steering adjustments in that chase. He's just like he's making correct.
By the fucking looks of it, he needed to because he was gonna fucking plow him if he didn't.
Go on, show me again.
Yeah.
Literally just
I want to say this, Matt Field is just looking fucking consistent. Constantly.
Just take your Procon and drift it. Easy.
Right here, watch his front tires.
Like, holy shit, Fields up.
It's a lot. It's a lot of correction from Vaughn, much more so than normal. I'm really fascinated to see the second half of this battle. Like, genuinely, really interested, because Vaughn looks fast. Vaughn looks fast.
Bring it home.
What happened
Bring it
to
home,
his
Field.
right rear tire?
Here we go.
Look at that chase from Field there. Go on, get the snap.
Three-wheeling.
Vaughn's tire just...
Get that transition in, he's Matt Fields all over him.
Field's got him.
Look at the right rear of his
Yeah, the right rear's off.
He DB'd it.
Vaughn's tyre DB'd.
Bro,
Yeah, the tire DB'd on him.
Field hooked the front wheel and hooked him round. That's what it was.
Oh,
his tyres DB'd.
His tires DB'd it.
He was going round anyway.
That was not.
Look at the entry. Look at the replay. It's DB'd.
No, it wasn't Matt's fault. He decelerated, but the reason. No, that's fine.
No, that one on the right is off the rim. His rear right is off the rim. Look at it.
Oh yeah, from the start, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's debated from the beginning.
They shouldn't have sent that battle. That tyre was off the rim.
Oh my god, you can see it. It's not even on.
Yeah, so here, when he jumps on the power, it just goes round. It's got no go.
That's what we're there.
Look, there, it's off the rim.
It was off the rim coming down the hill.
It was when he threw
Yeah,
it. No, yeah.
it's off the rim when he hit the rumble strip on entry.
Oh yeah.
See the wheel on wheel connection.
Look, watch it here.
It is.
Oh
Bang! There it goes.
Right there.
It
the fact he
literally
got
is.
as far as he
It's
did
off.
on a.
Bro, he was running on a rim.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of impressed he got that far.
That's
Yeah, but the entire part is on,
Yeah, because-
on the left side of
Yeah,
the
it's
car.
on that's what makes me think that that's not what caused the spin. It doesn't matter because it's his fault anyway.
No,
But I honestly
yeah.
don't think that's what caused the spin.
No,
if
but
you
he
watch
would've
now,
fucked up in the next corner
Field,
anyway.
Field's nowhere near him.
He hooks the wheel there.
No, he was already on his way round. He was already on his way round.
Field didn't even hit him in an area that could have sent him that way. That would have been like
Yeah, no.
physically
No.
impossible.
No, he might have hooked the wheel. Like, Ryan might be right, but I don't think
definitely
there's
hooked the wheel.
contact.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Ryan, you're saying that their front.
No,
wheel-
I think he hooked
there
the
was
front
contact
wheel.
right here.
Oh, he
Well, no.
did.
He did.
No, he
He
did.
did.
Yeah.
He was already going round, though.
Yeah,
He was
I
already
was
going
already
round.
It was
You have
already
to
out of
tighten up
control.
real hard there and jump right back on throttle.
Watch him give it to
wonder if they're
Gitten.
gonna give it
They've
one
been
more
doing.
time.
They've been doing it all day.
Watch
Hang on,
them
he's getting on the mic.
give it to Gitten.
They can't possibly give that
Shut
to
up,
Vaughn
shut up.
Gitten Jr.
Jack,
They
Ryan's
need
gonna
to
fall.
give it one more time.
Guys,
grip these tires produce if you down
Just
one
give it
tire,
one more
you'll
time
be
for-
able to have
Shut up.
trouble, maintaining the amount of speed and pace throughout the course that you'd expect a lead car to do. And then as they came up here towards inside clip number 2, you could see that Vaughn over-rotated, clearly caused by the lack of one of the tires on the car. As you were saying, metal on asphalt. So Matt Field, I think, made a very light contact with him. I didn't deem it to be Matt Field's fault at
Yeah.
all.
Good lad.
There we go.
I like it.
But they shouldn't have.
that is how.
Had a tire DB, so.
It's 100% not Field's fault.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing. I
Field
feel like
Jones,
that-
Field Jones.
Let's go, baby!
I think this could well be Matt Field's year. He's coming out of this on a real rip. He's looking really strong with everything that he's doing, and that car was fast enough to take Vaughn out anyway.
That's the Nova.
both Chelseas. Both Chelsea did
Matt Fields has now taken out every Mustang in this competition over the course of the last 3 battles.
Corvette superiority.
Except
Mustang Slayer.
Except Trent Beecham, but he's taken out all 3. He's taken out all 3 of the Mustangs that he's faced. He's taken out all 3 modern Mustangs.
And I guess by proxy, he took out Beecham.
Now here comes this one here.
Boy,
come on, Jeff. Come on.
Oh, I really hope they fix Jeff's car.
7 of those. Jeff, bring it home, baby. Let's go.
I want to
To be
see
fair,
Jeff in the final.
I'd honestly be happy if either of these win.
Yeah, I'm happy with either of these. But I think a frenemies final will be amazing.
That's the big thing. I mean, I don't mind Bucky's winning because he's my driver. But I have
Guys, this is a win-win for drifting. For the sheer fact, if Jones wins, we have Jeff Jones in the final. If Odie wins, we get a frenemy final. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I'm okay with either of that.
Now here's the thing, guys. I want Odie to win, or I want Jeff Jones to win, because if he wins, he's guaranteed a podium spot.
Yeah.
If he loses, I think he loses out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because there isn't a face-off for 3rd and 4th. What were you saying, Haley? She appeared and then... Did she disappear again? Oh, she disappeared again.
This is a good day, though. This is a good day for drifting, at least this part. Final 4, or grade 8 through Final 4 is always the best drifting.
I have like a feeling that Jeff is just gonna like let her rip this time.
Yeah, he's got to.
These 2 have drifted together a lot on the off.
Logan Evans, if Jones gets through to final, I got Matt winning. Yeah, Matt Fields beats Jeff Jones, even with Jeff Jones on the form that he's on. Matt Fields is the man right now for me. He has looked good right from the first run in qualifying.
Here we go, guys! Come on, Jeff Jones!
Real man.
He's gotten the dive.
Get in there, Lewis.
Oh, contact on the way through in the keyhole.
Yes.
Come on, Jeff, get on it. Push that car forwards.
Okay. Here's the
Okay.
I think Odie gets that run.
Jesus Christ, take a breath. Fucking hell.
I think it's too much for Field. I think that Odie has got a speed that he has never had before. I think that car is looking better than any S-body he's ever driven. That thing is gripped up this year.
He's through the fucking carbon Kevlar.
Yeah.
Instead of
Jeff
normal...
Jones didn't do bad. He drove his ass off.
Oh,
today,
Jeff Jones is really pushing hard there, but
now here's the thing. We have to see what Odie does behind him, because Odie's a great chase driver, but remember, Jones takes that part out of the keyhole differently than everybody else.
yeah, but you know, by this point in the evening, if your spotter hasn't said to you, by the way, Jeff goes wide on the transition out of the keyhole, then your spotter needs taking out back and putting out of his misery with a shovel to the face.
No, don't do that to his wife.
Does FD not do the lanes on entry where lead can't cross over?
Yeah, no, they don't.
Not on this run.
That looked really fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like what he
Jeff
did.
got like behind him, then to the left of him.
Right, here we go. Right, this is it. This is it. This is a really important run. This is the one. Come on, Jeff.
That's it. Odie's in the finals.
I don't care who wins this. These guys have both been amazing.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a real chase from Odie on that first corner. Go on, Jeff. Tuck it in. Oh, look at this. Right, come on. This transition.
Odie's unstoppable.
Oh, Odie's looking good. Oh, do you know there's an argument for that going one more time? For me, that's Odie Bakchis, and this is why. No, the argument there falls down, and it falls down in one place. To me, Odie Bakchis wins that battle at the top of the keyhole, purely from filling that outer zone fully. Jeff, if on last year's track, Jeff Jones is on an acceptable line. But on this year, look at it, the way he fills it, he barely gets out to the outer zone, and he does the natural flow away from it, where he angles up late on it and then comes back in, whereas Odie fills that thing from start to finish right out on the white line. Like, that is a great run from Jeff Jones, and it shows a lot of pace in the car that wasn't there last year. But for me right now, that's Odie Bakchis versus Matt Field in the final.
I want there to be a third place battle. Please go let there be a third place battle.
Yeah, I mean, I wish FD would bring it back. There's no good reason not to have a third place battle. Yeah, but that was when we had
How
the
did he decide third place? Oh, just higher qualifier.
higher qualifier. Whereas last year they couldn't because they obviously didn't have a qualifier.
I mean, this could be a one more time too, possibly.
It could be a one more time, but
just for the memes.
What do you guys think? Is it Odie Bakshis? Or is it Jeff Jones?
someone saying "Oh shit" in the
Jeff
background.
Jones crowd favorite, baby.
I'd like to see that go one more
Funny
time.
how people.
One more time. One more
wave at the screen rather than at the camera.
Odie.
Oh, looking like.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I don't think you can argue that.
I completely agree.
I can't.
I agree with that, Cole, but
for the good of drifting, I wish there was that. I wish there was fucking...
I would love to see Jeff Jones having progressed further than that, but realistically, he didn't have it in that fight. If he'd got out to that outer zone, then maybe, but you could mark it down too easily. And Odie, in realistic terms, Odie absolutely glued that thing to the back of Jeff Jones' car.
Oh god, frenemies, guys.
Frenemy battle.
I actually think Odie's faster than Field here.
This should be a good battle. This should be a fucking good battle.
The frenemies are at the top. Field and Odie, right?
If you had said to someone at the start of this weekend that the top four at the end of this battle was going to be either Odie or Field, and then Vaughn Gittin Jr. and then Jeff fucking Jones, people would have thought you'd been smoking too much of whatever it is that Ian's on right now.
No, they would have thought this was looking like 2018.
I mean, I'm still just completely blown away that Jeff Jones bet.
I'll say this right now.
Just bet Frederick Osmo as like
can I say
in a heads-up battle too. Not even a mechanical failure.
Yeah, he actually just straight up beat Asbo toe-to-toe, even battle, just killed him.
Yeah, no. Can I say something a little weird? It might be a little controversial. Tonight would be a perfect night if this weekend for FD, minus the Denofa call, which I disagreed with as much as you did, Ben, on the qualifying. This weekend would have been pretty damn good if there were two changes. One, third place battle, and the top 16 for the qualifying. This would be a decent weekend.
Bro, I am fine if either one of these guys wins.
Same.
Didn't Jeff also beat someone on a semi-broken car still?
Yeah, he beat Frederick Asbo while his car was not running right.
Yeah, he beat him.
He was down a cylinder when he beat Asbo.
Yep, and then he beat Kearney after that contact, and his suspension was.
Dude, that was insane.
Yeah, and his suspension was somewhere else, I believe.
Honestly, shameless plug, the tires. Like,
yeah, you are fast. Both you and Odie are fast as shit.
Temperatures cool off. I'm driving a car that surprisingly
Homie's like, yeah, fucking rip up the edge.
Yeah, like Manfield.
That's a really interesting point he's making there.
Let's be honest here.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but he's making the point that the Falcons come into their own as the temperature drops. Because that's one of the problems they've always had, is that the tyre compound is an older style compound. It's an actual track tyre, so it doesn't have really the consistency once the temperatures start to get really hot, so you can't run the pressure super low, so you can't generate the grip. And it's one of the reasons why Dean is so good on them, is because he doesn't really waste that much excess speed from the wheels. But this is, I think, now going to become a Nitto problem going through this year. I think they have got real issues with the way the tyres are working through their heat cycle. And as we have more evening runs, with the format change, FD is doing almost exclusively nighttime top 16s. I think you really genuinely could see Falcon take an almost clean sweep this year. I really believe that. That tyre is working well outside of the range that it should be effective as a drift tyre right now.
It's one of the biggest things, though. After this round, Jeff Jones is in the top fucking 5 in the point stand.
Yeah, he's 4th in points.
Well, no, qualifying. He might.
Okay, Vaughn had a solid ass chase run there. That was a good chase from Vaughn.
He had that.
Vaughn had that moment of understeer coming out of the keyhole, though.
But that's the only thing I would thank him for. A little bit of.
The other thing is, his tire. When did his tire officially come off?
It came off as he initiated in the lead, and I think that's the crucial thing.
It was his fault. He hit the end of the curb.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, though. Vaughn has hit that curb before with those tyres, and they have not popped off the rim. I think they're having to run that compound at a much lower pressure than they've previously had to run before because of the compound change for this year with the rules. I am absolutely convinced that the tyres are going to be the thing that makes the big difference this year. They've gone to adverts, so we'll cut away again for a minute.
I think Falcon has the best bet of a clean sweep. I think GT Radial actually doesn't look bad this year.
No, GT Radial look good this year, and they've got the advantage that they're the guys bringing the biggest sizes. If you want to be on a big tyre, you've got to go GT Radial.
Yeah, Nexon didn't look bad either, though. That's the weird thing. Like, Kearney looked pretty solid in that run. Here's some other guys on Nexon.
ECU produces standalone engine management technology.
Gucci, he didn't have. Oh, his car broke before he could do anything. Beecham, Sorensen's on Nexon.
Sorensen's on Nexon. He looked really good. Yeah, I think if you offered me an FD tyre right now, I would take the Nexons over everything else because they're the closest in terms of having an all-round balance. You know, the thing that the Nittos have always had is they've always had more of a. I think the Nittos were more of a traction tyre, or was it a side-by tyre? I can't remember because we talked about this a lot last year. But they are a biased tyre, and the Falcons are very much more of a traction tyre when they're in the right zone. They don't actually have huge side loading. But one of the things that the Nexons seem to have is they seem to be much more neutral. But the reason the Achilles were always so good and why the guys kept on saying the Achilles were the best in FD when it was there is the Achilles were, out of all of the semi-slicks that have come out over the course of the last 8-10 years, they were the ones that were a nice, even balance of side-by and traction. Like if you wanted a neutral tyre that did everything well, the Achilles was mint for it. And the guys over here in the UK, the guys at Driftworks, when Driftworks had their previous run-in and before they got a chance to go onto the Velinos, they were running the the Achilles a lot, the 123Ss, and they really rated them. That was what was on the back of the GT86 when it first came out, and it was nice and neutral. It was what was on the back of the E36 when it was looking as fast as it was. And they always said, you know, the thing that's the advantage there is that the car does both things well. Whereas the Westlake, if you put the back on with the Westlake, it tended to come up something like 5 meters short on any decel zone versus the Achilles. And if you put the Tri-Ace Racing Kings on, they came up 5 meters later on all of the slowdown decels. So you had that change of range, and that's now been replaced. The reality is in Europe, especially, that the Achilles is outgunned by the Velinos and the Tri-Ace R1s. But in the US, those tyres aren't legal in FD because you have to spend $30,000 to FD's pocket in order to have your tyre even submitted for consideration for FD. And even then they can still say no, it doesn't fall within our current bracketing rules. Now they've got the 200 treadwear. So they don't have the tyres that we have in Europe and in Asia and in anywhere else. The Formula D tyres, the best were the Achilles, but they only came up in a 285. So if you wanted the grip, you had to go on something else. And I think that's going to be the downfall this year. The guys on the Nitto are going to really struggle long-term with those tyres this year. That's how it looks from this first round.
Well, yeah, he's juiced up, isn't he?
Who?
Fields?
Yeah, Fields looked like he's been ripped up this year.
Doesn't he like do
That's where his grip's
before
coming from, he
interviews and
weighs
shit?
more.
Yeah.
He weighs more.
Like, I'm pretty sure
You know,
I had to
okay,
transfer
you
you guys
wanna
across so
know-
you can see it on the stream.
The crazy thing here, I've seen more fucking more.
You've seen more fucking?
Can you stop with that?
Well, stop using fucking as though it is a fill-in word for the rest of your sentence.
More workout videos from Kurt Blackie than I've actually seen him drift, but he's a hell of a drifter.
Have you guys seen the meme on Instagram where it's like Ryan
Oh,
Reynolds'
no.
insane highlights tonight, and it's just an empty track? and
Yeah,
it's
it was good.
Cricket noises. Oh no.
The Nitto tyres are a grip tyre. Tall sidewall keeps the grip but gives room for slip speed. Yeah, they are a tall sidewall, but that's the old Nitto. It doesn't look like it's the same compound this year. Now that they've introduced a compound regulation, they actually had to submit a compound. These tyres don't look like they're performing in the same range as last year's tyre. I mean, I'm perfectly willing for someone to come on and say, no, factually, this is incorrect. But when you look at it from the outside, that's exactly how it looks right now. It looks like a tyre that is not performing the way it should do.
Is Yoshihara on Falcon? Jeez.
Yeah.
Dai Yoshihara's been on Falcons his entire career.
What?
Yeah,
Well, not his entire career. He was on Federal first of all, wasn't he?
I thought he was mainly... Wasn't he Turn 21 for a while?
Yeah, but Turn 21 on a tyre manufacturer.
Okay, yeah. I guess I didn't know their fucking time.
Turn 14 is like... yeah, no. Turn 14 is like their version of
Bridgestone at one point too.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone was on Bridgestone at one point.
I knew that was his main sponsor. I never knew the tires he was on.
Yeah, because he's been on Falcon for years. Years and years and years.
Wow.
Yeah, no, like, he was on Falcon before Odie or Field, even.
Oh, damn.
Or JT. Well, JTP was on it, I think, the longest out of everyone.
I thought JTP was on Hancooks when he was in the FC.
He might have been, actually. Shit, you're right. Because I know he was
Was James Dean on Falcon after or before Matt Field?
Before. James Dean's been on Falcon ever since, I want to say 2011, because 2010 he was Nexon, I think. I might be out by a year or so, but he's been on Falcon a really long time.
If I remember correctly, he was running the Falcon S14.
Volino tires, bro. Holy shit.
Well, he's got such a deep fucking relationship with Falcon.
Yeah, he is the only European driver who does competition that is still on Falcons at this point, and Falcon are his #1 sponsor, so I suspect that Volino would have to step in with a pretty serious contract offer to put him onto Volinos.
Yeah, I think even fucking Peter went over to Falcon because of Dean.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did, because they wanted Dean on the team, and Dean came with a pre-existing relationship with Falcon. I know that Piotr had been on the Falcons for a little while before, but that was when they'd started their pre-existing relationship. You know, that was when Budmat was starting to get more involved.
What's Field doing?
Yeah. Well, Field warms his tires real quick like that.
No, I know that. I thought they were literally about to start them with him that far back.
The guy's just standing in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, he just like, you know what it is.
Before you do this run, take a fantastic gander at my crotch. Now you may leave. Goodbye.
You good?
Here we go. This is going to be it. We are down to the final, an all frenemies final. All Falcon. Odie versus Matt Field. This is amazing. This entry is going to be crucial. Odie's been very fast in the entry all night. Look at that proximity from Odie. Backchis, he's gone and screwed it.
Oh no!
Oh no, dude! The fucking final! The fucking final!
And the carbon Kevlar body kit.
The body kit's fine, but
the current rules, if Field can't continue because of that contact, who wins?
If Field can't get to the final afterwards, then Odie would still win. I think, from the rules as they are right now.
Oh, Taylor Hall
Here's
loves
the big thing
that
I'm wondering. I'm wondering real quick.
Taylor Hall loves that rule.
Did Field went off?
That's his bread and butter, man. He's about to lose, take him
That's
out.
not a D-cell zone. That's not a
Oh
D-cell.
no! He caught the fucking grass. He caught the dirt, and it just fucking sent him into Matt Field's car.
No, listen.
You literally.
Hang on, everyone shut up for a second.
Look.
He hit him on the first corner, and he just mistimed it.
Right, hang on. No, there is a point to be made here, because that is not a D-cell zone, and during that transition, Matt Field gets on the brake. Look, there's that moment of brake lights. The brake lights come on, and then Odie plows into him.
Odie had already hit him on the first corner and pushed him wide. Watch the first corner.
No.
What? No, actually,
Ryan,
seriously,
Ryan.
watch.
No, look.
Ryan, I'm watching.
Watch.
Listen.
Watch.
He doesn't. He didn't.
No, he doesn't.
He didn't hit him.
He does.
No, he didn't.
He doesn't.
No, and then Matt Field slows down right there, and Odie has to get on the brakes to fucking slow down. You literally see.
Yeah, Ryan, watch this. I will put it in slow-mo for you. I will put it in slow-mo for you.
He does not hit Field
Watch
at
this.
all. Odie was just
Okay.
super
Alright.
close.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
Watch. So
There's
he
no
doesn't
hit
hit the rear end.
Yeah, he
There.
scraped his bumper, and then he had to slow down.
But there's nothing there anyway in the car.
Yeah, and what's more is if you look at it, Field is off throttle at that point. He is transitioning over, grabs his brakes as
And in the transition,
Odie is making the dive.
In the transition, Field is on the brakes. Just look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, I think that might end up being crucial. It depends whether that left foot brake. Odie had clearly made a mistake because he had washed wide. He dropped that tyre off on the outside edge and then he went for that fast transition. But a Matt Field that is fully on the throttle through that transition doesn't get hit by Odie Bakchis. Matt Field, if he's fully gassed out through there, does not get hit by Odie in that transition. Odie transitions on the throttle and then jams the brakes on.
So yeah, the momentum zones are only area where they're considered decels.
Yeah,
even
dude,
at
he
outer
slowed
zone
down on
into
a
the inner,
touch
it's
and
not
go.
a decel.
He slowed down on a touch and go.
Yeah, so that's where this is.
Yeah, that is correct.
Hang on, shush.
We are in a pretty clear situation here where there's a clear advantage for Matt Field.
They're saying that's Odie's fault. So there we go.
For the collision and being
How?
rewarded in incompletion.
That's fucked.
Okay, yeah. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? It's going in general chat because I had to go and find it just to prove a point.
On his chase
Hold on.
run, in order for there to be the possibility of a one more time. However,
Ready?
two
General
incomplete
chat.
chase run mean we could revert to the lead as a comparison, but let's take a look at
Boom.
it here.
So they do kiss on initiation, right?
Okay, yeah, they do
Oh,
kiss on
yeah,
initiation.
They do.
Well before the inside clip.
It was this. Yeah, I thought it was just the slightest touch. That was my initial thought.
That's where you see the contact.
No, but it might have been enough to panic him into having to brake to go round the next one. That was me consensus behind it.
All right, yep, fair enough.
Fair enough.
It didn't look like it. Like maybe it was just at the point where the momentum had almost no impact in that early stage because it doesn't look like it unsettles Field. But Odie still goes wide off it. I mean, it's a tough one, and this is one of the things you'd go back to on the replay for anyway. But this is not how that battle should have gone. And
What is it
That
with
was
all the
shaping up
battles?
to be really, really fucking good. That's a disappointment.
What is it with all the battles we don't think are going to be good being good, and all the battles we think are going to be good just turn into?
I mean, this for me should have been phenomenal. What a shame.
I mean, these two are driven together constantly. Like
Um,
the only person that has drifted as much in their pro car this offseason as Field is Odie.
haven't
Field has so much seat time.
I do
Yeah, no,
like how
but-
they're both initiating.
haven't watched it again.
close together.
Haven't watched it again. The sheer speed that
No, I'm saying Field.
he's gaining.
Odie's at fault. Field has never won.
No,
Yeah,
oh,
he
he
literally
actually
didn't
that
even
was enough to cause him to upset the line. I'm fairly sure.
Bergenholtz cried that night.
Because you could see how much
Oh.
Odie's car wobbled when he hit him.
Field is, focusing on his
It
right
was
rear
obviously-
possible
I'm
It was
really-
obviously a.
If they run again, I'm hoping Matt Field doesn't pussyfoot behind Odie because I don't want him to see him fucking get down.
I hope they get the car out on time.
I think he will. I think he'll still go for it.
I want to see Matt Field plowing into the S15.
Yeah, I want to see this go as a one more time because no one managed to keep it in their pants.
What's this pit guy in the background doing? Is he just observing, taking in the view?
No, he's there too.
No.
He's the watcher. So basically, if he does not finish the car in time, which I believe he also has a 5-minute timeout on top of this, if he cannot get the car fixed in the total time, he has to say you can't go.
Yeah.
I
And the
think
car
you'll
needs
find
to
he'll
run
just, he'll
by that
just
time.
run it on some bent arms probably. That's what I'd do.
Hell, I think actually I think. I wonder if a few of Odie's guys will probably run over there in a second.
So they take any necessary tools and parts.
There's not really any more than three. There's not, you know, more than three people can't really wear on a car anyway, so it'd be a bit pointless.
Right corner, the left front, right front, whatever.
Start get diminishing returns once you get more than three. Trust me, I've tried it.
Yeah, it's true.
Unless you're working on two sides, it's
5
like
minute
you
time
just.
out.
And Lorette, go ahead, down to you, girl.
Well, no,
Let's
he
have a
has
listen
the
to what
10
Lorette
minutes
says. Hang on.
You can hear me. There's a lot of cars and a lot of things in the way, but Matt Field sitting in the car, and there's been some damage to the right side. So tell us what the team is working on fixing.
Right, so, got it? Right now, it's actually this piece called a toe control plate, and it's basically a sacrifice piece that Part Shot Max builds into their knuckle so that we don't destroy a very expensive billet knuckle. So fortunately, just that plate took the hit. We pull it off, bolt a new one on, check the alignment, send the car on its way. So this is the first
Part Shot
time
Max
with
is
this new piece
a real
that we
G.
tested.
Yeah, Part Shot Max, for me right now, I know WiseFab have tried to up their game with some of their sacrificial parts, but Part Shot Max for me are the guys making the best parts in drifting right now. Like if I had a dream sponsor, it would be Part Shot Max phoning me up and throwing a catalogue at me, because they are so interested in the reliability of making a car that specifically can be sent out. Like, look at this. That this is the thing, is they specifically designed this part so that it could be changed within a 5-minute rule, not a 10-minute rule. These guys are, if they had to rush, because you see they're just moving at a normal pace, if they had to rush that sacrificial part, all of those sacrificial parts can specifically be changed within a 5-minute rule. That was what Part Shot Max came up with. Everything that's sacrificial can be done in a 5-minute rule. Everything.
Can we, I feel like we just need to. I just need to mention this because it cracked me up that she really did not want to give him that microphone.
No, she really didn't. Like Lorette's got the nerves down. She's like, "What is this guy going to do with my microphone?" They're sending us to adverts for Talk Drift again, so I've put my face on the big screen. I hope everyone's okay. This is not the final that we all wanted to see. This is not how we wanted it to go. It's been an event that's seen me come up with an awful lot of elevated blood pressure. I think we can all agree that this has not been the first event that we were expecting. There's been a lot of bullshit. You guys are clearly seeing in the chat that you think it was on Matt Field. I don't know. I think that Ryan's made a good point that if there was that, as Ryan has said, he's put a photo up, you can see that there is glancing contact coming into that first corner, and Odie was carrying the momentum there for me. If you get hit in the wrong place on that initiation, and you guys can go and try this for yourselves on Assetto Corsa, if you get hit in the wrong place on that initiation, you have got to back so much energy out of the car during that transition to make it up the hill. I think if Odie's floating in with that much speed, clips him, Matt gets to go forward, Odie hooks into that curb on the outside and rotates, I can see how that contact could be Odie's fault.
If you watch the drone cam from the chase, you can see when the contact happens how much Odie's car moves, which, you know, it obviously, Newton's third law, it's providing that much energy to the car in front as well.
Think it's such a small amount, I don't think it did anything. I think these two have been driving better than anyone else all night. For me, Odie and Field are the deserved finalists, and I think they've been carrying more pace than anyone else into that corner, and I think they've been closer to the edge than anyone else in terms of the line between success and failure consistently all weekend, in fact. So I can see how that little bit of a nudge from Odie in the background, if you're at 99%, then an extra 1.5% is all it needs to tip you clean over the edge. So it's not how we wanted to see it go. It's a good battle so far in terms of, I really enjoyed the entry. You know, the initiation was ballsy in the extreme, but I wanted to see that one go all the way, and I think it's probably robbed us of the battle we wanted to see.
Guys, Matt Field had the best uphill section or lead run of the entire weekend.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah, I agree with that here. This is my opinion here. Field is the strongest driver on the uphill. Odie is the strongest driver on the downhill.
He's the strongest driver in the chase. And that's just
no, like Field's downhill is good.
Field's downhill is really good.
Odie is fucking pinpoint. And that's the problem. I think Odie's uphill is the second best, and they're literally just two best drivers out here for that. And it's perfect that they're in the final. But yeah, no, like I said, real shit. Vaughn should have lost in 16 and lost in 8. Like,
there is another thing you can look at with this last one is, do you honestly think that Field's dab of brake, because it wasn't like he held the brake, do you think that caused that much of a closing speed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because Odie gets the transitional energy much higher from that wheel drop. Like, don't get me wrong, Odie made a mistake, but the transitional energy, and we saw it earlier on, I think it was Adam LZ in the top 32, just dropped into that grass and it hooked into the outside edge. So all of your momentum is immediately transferred forwards because you've slapped it round. So I think if that, it's a combination of that the timing on when Odie pivots out of the grass, the car's got all of the energy immediately going forwards, and I don't think if Field had been on the brakes that contact would have been as serious or would have happened at all. I think Field slows what would normally not be a problem, but that's just, this is just the normal, Swiss cheese model of everything going to shit at once. It needs one thing to hit another thing to hit another thing to, I think if we hadn't seen that contact in the initiation, maybe they make it through that run intact. And if you haven't seen that, if Odie doesn't drop the wheel before the transition, you don't see that contact. And if Field doesn't come off the gas or doesn't left foot brake during the transition to settle the car like he has been, then you don't see that contact.
Crazy. Orlando, I believe, is private. I know there's one that's floating around, but especially the latest Orlando and New Jersey are private as hell.
Yeah, the OSW that VDC used is meant to be private. Yeah, but it was, by the time I got hold of it, it had been shared so wildly that I could have got it from anyone. And I didn't get it from Chris. That's the ridiculous thing. Is like, I didn't get that car from a guy that is directly associated with our series in some way. So that Orlando Speed World has been floating around for a really, really long time, but it's still technically private. But there is a version of Wall, New Jersey that is almost immaculate pinpoint accurate, and it's now been 4 years in development and they still haven't publicly released it. VDC got it and they managed to keep it private on threat of, if you share this, you are forfeit and we will pass your name on for legal proceedings.
Yeah.
Like, you forfeited the whole season by sharing that track. I mean, this is...
And what's worse is I know there are still people who got it.
Yeah, people definitely got it, but you never saw it cropping up on servers. It never made it onto a public server. Not once. Because they aggressively pursued people who were sharing it.
They had enough time after replacing that part. They can full on just fucking do the alignment.
Yeah, you do a full alignment. And if they want to, they'll call their 5 minute on top of this and make sure that it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, they called the 5 minute.
Oh, they did call the 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, if you've got 15 minutes to make the car perfect so that you can go out and put on a show, that's what you do.
Worst part is
he's not allowed to put new tyres on, is he?
No, you're allowed to if it's a suspension change.
Well, no, you're not allowed to, but unless it's been damaged in some way.
Yeah, so if the wheel is damaged or the tyre has been damaged, then you can replace both of them. But in fairness, they got, what, 1 quarter in? So if the tyre's not damaged, it's not like they're scrubbed.
I think there's a brand new tyre on the right. I'm assuming it'll be one on the left as well.
Yeah, they wouldn't put on an asymmetric set.
Yeah. Remember when F1 did that? When fucking what's his name? Raikkonen blew his tire, and it was 05 when tire changes were illegal, so they made a thing that you can only replace that one tire if it's dangerous, and you're just like, what?
Matt Field is rolling, make some noise, Atlanta.
That was like the worst.
Don't stop believing. That's right, Brooks. Don't stop believing. That is right, Brooks Church in the building. Thank you, sir. He is a fun haver for sure.
Now here's the thing I'm really wondering about.
Just a small town boy.
What if Field zeros his chase?
Then you have a one more time.
I would love to see that, but I don't think Field is going to do that. I don't think Field's
He's too consistent.
Oh, who did the judges deem at fault for that contact,
Odie.
by the way?
Odie.
Yeah, tricky part here.
But I would love to see.
I'd love to see this go one more
I'd
time.
love to see an onboard. From a chase perspective.
You know,
I don't even think they have those set up.
Not for immediate broadcast.
Not for live production.
Yeah, they just brought up sandbagging. I'm like, they're like, yeah, Field's not going to sandbag this one. Let's be real here. He used to be like, give me some milk.
Give me some milk.
Back in the final.
He's just like, fuck it, we got a month to fix it. Send it.
But the problem is, there's that you know, it's not the $1,000 part that usually breaks. It's usually the 10 cents.
Nobody on
We've got a
earth would
month
be
to fix it.
sandbagging at the end of the
Eats it into a
competition.
wall.
Like Gucci in his line. You know, he didn't have any power.
That is the perfect thing, though. It's not the 1,000 part that usually breaks. It's the 10-cent part.
And that's exactly why PSM have made it so that all of those parts just collapse in on themselves. Like that,
exactly.
You've got a $10 part that is totally sacrificial, and then you've got a billet knuckle that literally costs $650 a side, and they make it so that the other things give out. In the same way as you make it so that your lower arm is your weak point. Go on.
Oh, I don't know if you ever noticed this. To the left of the lineup area, it's a thing that basically says, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you've got to count. You've only got a maximum amount of time to get to the line. Yeah.
They're allowed a 30-second burn.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the same thing that's actually a rule in VDC. Is once you're called, you have 30 seconds to get to the line, or you forfeit your battle. And we're going to be implementing that as well going forwards. So you better make sure that you load in and immediately load your setup, Ryan and Ian and Jordan.
Thought my new name was Rian.
Yeah, Rian.
You have 30 seconds when you're called to get to the line.
Hang on.
And I'm over here like,
Ian Koenig.
Is this the Koenig rule? I have the Jigsaw rule. Is this the Koenig rule?
The Koenig rule.
Koenig does rule.
I've changed Ryan's name. Let's go. Let's see this.
Let's not fuck it up this time, boys, eh?
Fields looking good in the chase position there. That's a much nicer initiation. He's not got the proximity though, and this is what we thought. Oh, he's straightened. That is a 0.
Oh my god. Oh, it's a one more time.
I actually can't wait now. I'm really happy again.
I'm genuinely really excited to see how that works. Surely that's 2 zeros.
Something must still be broken.
No, do you know what happened there?
What you fucking Odie just like
Wow.
What was that, Ryan?
I said before it now, it turns out the judges haven't seen it.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They don't even look at the replay. They just don't watch.
Two incompletes in the chase are in fact legit. Odie had one for hitting Matt, right?
No, you think the judges would just automatically, by default, send this one more time?
No, but this is one of the things that's interesting with the FD rulebook, is it's a 0 in the chase position. No, but it's a 0 in the chase position from both runs. Matt doesn't get to put down a lead run, but Odie completes a lead run. So technically speaking, they judge it just on that one run. And that means Odie Backcheese gets the win.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's straight. I don't know.
Yeah, but his chance of doing a lead run was removed from him, though.
Yeah, but that's how their rulebook works.
That's how FG Japan wouldn't work.
That the judges could compare it to. Somebody help me.
So.
Help me. Help.
I love that Sage is full on question.
Like, even Ryan Sage is there going, surely that's a one more time. We can't just say that literally the fact that Odie completes a lead is all that matters from that battle. That's insane.
I think they just realized their rule book is dumb.
Yeah, like, that is a dumb rule in this situation, because this is exactly why. Like, you've got to send them again. Surely you've got to send them again.
One more time.
They're about to nullify the jury, man.
There's gonna be a riot if it's not. You know.
There's gonna be a fucking rule change on the fucking.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Jury nullification. They're about to say that the rule book's stupid.
Are they going one more time?
We don't know. You're like an LZ fan. Jesus Christ.
He's got the attention span of an LZ fan.
It's OMT.
It's OMT. There we go. Cool. We're finally going to get a battle that we deserve.
Yay, they changed the rulebook.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fuck the rulebook.
Fuck them rules.
Look at Matt Field's team is smiling.
Dude.
Yeah, do you know they're all smiling? Because it's like, you want a better battle than that.
Yeah, they gotta get some
and the best thing is, there's going to be no teams fucking challenging it.
I'll be right back. I need to get my phone on the battery charger.
That child is upset that was not a good battle. She's pointing, going, "Why won't they do good drifting, Daddy?"
Ben, I don't know if I've ever shown you this. It's up in my office. Because I got it, but it was the wrong size, so I said, fuck it. I just
Hang on. Send me a photo.
Why
Why are you
that
showing
guy
it?
tire smoking, Dad?
Because we were having that conversation earlier.
The one more time battle between the frenemies. Are they friends? Are they enemies?
I love the way LZ's
This better be
car's
a
still
kick-ass fucking... Yeah, no, LZ's just like, hey guys, I'm still here.
Oh, nice!
They
You got a
really don't
Waterhouse
have
shirt.
a lot of room in the pits at Atlanta, do they?
Yeah, no, when I got it, it wasn't the right size. So I was like, because I got that from FD Seattle, and I grabbed the wrong size because I'm an idiot, and I was just like, oh my god, James Dean and Peter and fucking at the time Kearney was there too because Bridges Racing was helping. So, and Kearney's a funny fuck.
They just keep replaying this, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna tab away from this.
My
The
God.
one round that I'm really excited for in a drift comp is the final round of DMEC this year.
Here we go. Back to the action.
That is going to be
Where are they
sick.
gonna be?
They're in
They're going in the streets of Georgia, the country.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that.
That shit is going to be so fucking cool.
The change and
Oh,
something
shit.
on Fields' car.
Yeah, they're checking his alignment.
Yeah.
They're just
wondering
like,
if that was.
all right, boys, swap the whole setup of the car.
Well, they're
Fucking
wondering
not
if maybe they
keeping up
missed
with
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Maybe
dude, he
because they didn't
straightened
look at
out-
the front, did they? Maybe something bent on the front and they've not realised.
Yeah. Because it
If
did look like
Matt-
there was a bit of contact in the front end too. So.
If Matt just DQ'd himself, that would massively suck ass because I'm excited to see this battle.
I would be really
He can't-
annoyed.
I don't think he can DQ himself for checking his alignment, can he?
Well, no. Because
No,
didn't-
by his alignment
no,
breaking.
no. Wait, no. Ian,
Or his
here's the thing.
suspension, sorry.
Here's the thing I'm wondering. Will he have to take a 5-minute timeout to do that? To get it right?
No, he can't. He's used it because he's used it. He can't do it.
He's used it, yeah, but he's not making a change. He's checking it. There's a difference.
Yeah, he's
but-
turned into Santa Claus. He's checking it twice.
Well, here's the thing. If he has to change it, if they realize,
No,
oh
but-
shit,
no,
that
but
was
at least-
affected
at
by the
least-
car.
Yeah, but at least
If he has to
at
change
least
it, he's
it'll
gotta
settle
fucking
his
do it.
head. Then he'll think, right, the front end's dodgy. I need to. At least he knows
Yeah.
rather than. It would be a help knowing as opposed to not knowing, definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
I also wonder if he did indeed to do his 5-minute timeout. I don't know if he actually did. Because they were about 7 minutes when they were putting the fucking wheel back on.
They might not
and
have.
then it was 3 minutes.
Yeah, they might
That'd
not
be
have.
fucking. That's sick though. That Part Shop Max came out with a part that you could lackluster, like just lazily fix, and with 7 minutes left, just say fuck it, we'll do alignment too. And I don't even think he used all the 5-minute or the
You just
10-minute
need
timeout.
an impact gun. Once you got an impact gun, everything takes 5 minutes. I mean, look at my steering wheel. Look at that bit straight back together.
I love when I hear that.
Well, I had like 15 step downs on it, and then a Phillips head to ugga me screw in the top of my steering wheel.
And a Phillips head to ugga me screw.
Never change, Ryan. Really, never change.
No, they all thought I was taking a piss. Everyone thought I was taking a piss.
And then we heard it in the background going. I'm like, oh God, no! Are you shitting me?
Guys, I know the problem. Matt Field is on Tandem Buddy Physics.
Well, that's why he's Ryan's favourite driver.
Fuck off.
Okay, can I say something right now? This is gonna sound controversial as fuck. LZ would be better off on the fucking GT radial than the Nitto.
To be honest, most of the Nitto drivers I've seen this round.
I think the
gonna add to that,
Nittos
or-
are faster. I think the Nittos are much faster, but
That doesn't
it's a
matter.
question
if
of
you front feature,
durability.
bro.
I think the Nittos are probably the faster tyre. Like, the point was made that they are still a traction tyre, and that is fair, but...
Don't
What do you
make
guys
2
think
rounds.
the quality limit is?
Yeah, if they've got a problem with the compound and it's causing issues, then it doesn't matter if it's a faster tyre. If it's not doing 2 runs, you are shit out of luck. And if you've got to then dial the grip back in order to make it do 2 runs, then you're not going to be able to be competitive.
You know what track that tire is gonna fucking kill
He
on
must
though?
have called. He must have called a 5-minute rule because otherwise we'd be definitely going.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I feel like the one track the Nittos are gonna destroy at is fucking Long Beach. Because it's not long enough to actually burn the tires.
Oh, go backwards.
What?
They might be good at Long Beach, yeah, because it's actually quite a short track, so that would be a good one for them. OMT doesn't have a time limit, I believe. I thought it continues when the drivers are ready. I think that's true, but I think they also have that maximum amount of time to get to the line. So if you are not ready for when the battle is called, if one person's ready to go at the line and then the battle is called, you've got your 30 seconds to be ready at the line, is my understanding, but I could be wrong.
I'll ask Crawford a bit later because he was a crewman for Farouk last year.
But they're on the same team, so they can wait on each other.
Oh no, they're not. They're different. They're on the same tyre and they have a good relationship, but they don't come both out of the drift cave, do they?
Yeah, no. Odie has his own thing. And
Yeah.
Drift Cave does theirs. That's why Drift Cave is actually, like, you would say, Meyer and Reynolds.
Yeah, and
would.
Who else was it? This event in Fields' old car. Masayama.
What?
He's had this much time and he's still changing the tires.
I
No,
mean,
not even. Oh, they had to go get tires from somewhere.
Oh yeah, because you have to take tires from a completely other place. They're back there. The actual hot pits, like where they're all situated, is okay. So
yeah, they're only allowed to take a certain number of tyres down to the hot pits, aren't they?
Yeah, the rest of their stuff is back at the trailers, which is in the. It's more in the infield by the actual where the start-finish line at Atlanta is. So they have to have stuff run through the short gate. That's probably why they don't get on them too much going into this, because it's just really hard to get tires accessible.
What's interesting is that means that when they've been tabbing in there, when they've been doing that zoom in, the tyres that were on the left that were just in shot that still had tread on have done 2 runs. So that means that those Falcons are lasting 2 runs, still with visible tread of this circuit.
Did they change the other side?
Yeah, a guy ran around the back a second ago.
I was wondering whether they put one on and weren't happy with it, and then went to get another one and replaced just that one, and that's why the tyre that come off looked brand new. Because there's another tyre, there's another Falcon tyre there that's being used, which is on the rack, which looks fucked.
Maybe they went back and got a wider size. Maybe they've been running on a slightly narrower size all evening, and now he's gone, no, I want the full power spec. No, that would be insane. That would. It's just not a realistic thing. That wouldn't be
Took it round the
happening.
back, it's got the glue out.
If it happened though, we would just be like, this motherfucker.
Put them in the back of that minivan and did a glue blasting and
Yeah. Well, I bet Vaughn's sad that they weren't allowed bead lockers. Oh, let's listen to JTP.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this real quick though. That nose. Lawrence knows has its own Twitter page.
It was just like, it's wild, you know, a couple Falcon cars. Like,
Does it have its own area code?
We were down there with Odie, like helping
Yeah, probably.
car back together. I don't know really what happened with Matt with like the whole tire situation, but yeah, I think
No, Lawrence, good
we're all
person.
trying to get back in the swing of things. We haven't really. I mean, last year was just weird, and like this is the first time in a year and a half that it feels like somewhat normal. So it's good, but on the other hand.
Why is there a green JCB in the background? Why is
Uh,
it green?
Because they don't take their own JCB to events, I'd assume.
Yeah, that's the track JCBs. Notice how the track notice how the track cart there is green as well.
Yeah. No. I've got that Talandor on farm as soon as
By mistake, we didn't have a spare
have to run to a local shop. I used a press to press the knuckle like straight again, and then we ran into a throwout bearing issue in qualifying.
Are we seriously saying that JTP literally ran down to a parts store to fix his race car? Is that actually what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they didn't have an extra for the part that he needed. There's a big part shop right across the street from it. Like they've mentioned it a few times the last few years. It is really nice. They definitely knew where Prime.
Yeah, they get some of every single part for all of the FD cars that are there in stock, just in case.
Not just FD cars, but like all the other fucking like they do a shit ton of racing at Atlanta.
Yeah, but they will have just got. They will do it based on the weekend. They go, oh, the IMSA cars are coming this weekend. What do we need parts shop? Oh, the FD cars. We better get a load of Nissan and Mustang parts in.
I don't think any of these will have a single stock Mustang.
I'm gonna be honest. I love the lighting at it.
I can't see 1, 2 billion stars of light. Look at this. Okay, I see a couple royal purple banger sticks out there. See some lights, see some strobes.
Are we ready, boys?
Yeah, looks good.
Let's hope for better.
Oh,
yes.
Please be a heads up.
Oh, Josh is still here. Josh Oxley has been so quiet since this debacle unfolded. I've forgotten he was still with us. He's like, I'm just miserable about drifting right now. Here we go. Right, boys. This is it. This is crucial.
Right, here we go.
Odie Backcheese must now not murder Matt Field. We've got to have a full pull this time. We must have a battle. Come on. Good initiation. Odie's right there again. Oh, he's done it again, has he? Oh! That is so close to being the exact same thing again. He just couldn't get the car tucked in. Matt Field is looking so aggressive in that lead position. Look at that car move. But Odie's right there with him. And they're going for that dive up the inside. Odie's got that pressure back on, coming back down the hill. Come on, Odie, slipping it to him up on the inside. Woo! Look at the pops and bangs on that car going over the line.
Oh, this is a good night. This is a good fucking night.
Alright, let's see this shit. I want to see fucking Odie just lay down the hammer.
Spicy.
It confuses me that I'm doing a more exciting commentary than Jared Dienda, who is the hype man for FD.
He has not gotten better in the decade plus that he has been commentating. And it is.
I think he's just become less and less sober. I love how Ryan's trying to be the hype man right now.
I actually can't see anything up with that lead from start to finish
No,
whatsoever.
that was easily another 95-point run, if not higher.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you think? I think Matt Field's got.
I think Matt Field's got this. I think Matt Fields might have the measure of Odie Backcheese.
Odie wasn't close until the back half.
I wonder if.
And even then it was scrappy.
A repeat now. I wonder if this is gonna be a repeat.
That's how we do. You could use that as an ad. Okay.
Wouldn't it be a three-peat? Isn't that their phrase for James Dean? Oh, you've done something 3 times in a row. It's a three-peat. Oh.
Alright, here we go. This might be the final run of the night. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Come on, Matt Field, send it up the inside. Oh, look at that chase on the initiation. He's so much closer on Odie up that hill. That is absolutely phenomenal from Matt Field as he's going flying up into that down section. Odie flaming out the back as Matt Field pushes up onto the door. This is definitely the chase that we wanted from Matt Field as he gets right up onto the inside of Odie. But there's a mistake. That's a mistake from Matt Field as they come through the transition back down the hill. It's going to definitely swing the other back towards Odie. Oh, it could go for another one more time.
What was coming off Odie's car? Was it sparks out the exhaust?
I think so.
I see like clear sparks out the back of the car.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
I'm getting lightheaded here, guys. I can't.
Look at fucking Odie pull the handbrake 4 times.
Oh, Matt Field was putting it on door.
Matt Field won that right up until now. That transition, that's where it goes wrong. He drops the tyre over the inside, loses the ground.
But the thing is, will that be enough to not have another one more time?
No, his tires go straight.
Yeah, they do go straight, but will that be enough? Because he had such closer proximity.
Yeah, Odie was barely in that first battle. It depends whether that was a full straighten. If that's just a massive markdown, it could go again.
Because there, Matt Field was so much tighter than Odie was. On the initial first clip, Odie went
Field's
so wide.
lead line
was immaculate.
Much nicer.
Right here. Watch his front
I'll
tires.
just say, let's be honest here. We're looking at both of these guys.
That's a reinitiation. Yeah, Odie's got this. That's a straight up reinitiation.
Now, I just want to say this right now. We're looking at 2 championship contenders right there. They're going to be fighting for it this year. Let the battle begin.
Oh, this is nuts. Field had that, and then
that's a 0.
Now here's the thing: they're gonna have to ask too. Was Odie's run bad enough? Because he also went off the track too.
Yeah,
that's why I was saying before. Where is the end of the track? Because I'm not sure.
Well, no, he was off track before the end.
I feel like we should all hop on and do some driving after this. Sure.
I am not turning my wheel on at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Why not? Ryan, you just lack commitment. Sorry, new Ian, you just lack commitment.
Also.
Oh. Oh God. So what you're saying is
I mean, given
what you're saying
given the
is,
history of FD judges, do we really think this is going to be a logical conclusion?
No.
Look at that guy just stood with his backpack and his hands on his hips in the middle there, like.
The fact that they're still looking at it, they obviously don't think it's 0 because they wouldn't even be entertaining.
They want to be sure. They want
the replay side
Looking at side by side.
Dude, proximity had. Dude, Matt had so much closer proximity until the straighten. It was pretty even here. Odie was faster on the lead though.
From that view, the straight doesn't look anywhere near as bad.
No, from the up, you can definitely tell. You can tell
a good
that it
2
was
seconds faster on his lead than that was.
I mean,
We have a result. Yeah, it's Odie Bakchis. It's got to be Odie.
Odie did lost proximity, but he didn't make that mistake.
Yeah, Odie won that.
Hey!
So we do have a winner as Ryan just.
Why would they even be entertaining and watching the replay though? If they
they would watch again just to be 100% sure.
We know 3rd place.
They've done this so many times, especially with the finals.
What a weekend! What a week! Yo, so
Are Matt and Vaughn just doing a run right now?
No.
No,
They're going down to the bottom of 2.
Oh, right, for the podium.
It's great to be next to you.
I was like, what the fuck, are they just going?
Even though it's first, second, and third, the 4th place should be down there at least.
Yeah, Jones deserves to be down there.
Jones deserves to be down there.
That's the podium right there. Odie in the middle. Field to the left, Vaughn to the right.
Yeah.
First, second, third.
Did he lose all his light?
Oh yeah, no, he smashed his front end.
He hit him with that hit. He lost most of his front end pretty fucking hard.
It still freaks me out
that the camber on Odie's front right wheel is slightly off compared to his front left wheel. I want to point that out.
Might be set up that way.
Yeah, it might be deliberate. You could
Yeah,
like this would be a logical track to go for asymmetrical front camber.
Yeah, no. The other thing with it, Odie also, if you look close, his what's it called? Intercooler up front is actually tilted. It's not symmetrical.
That's probably because one of the brackets is fucking bent up.
Well, no, as in you can visibly see.
No one else is scumbagging. No.
Come on.
Odie's car looks like it might not
Odie.
be able to do it.
Burn off the Falcons.
Odie's just like, I can't do this, guys. Can we stop?
Lame.
That's yet more propaganda from the lamestream media.
Odie better do something after he wins.
What I want is...
Oh no, there
goes Gaten.
They're gonna get crowded. They're gonna get crowded.
Even though he would probably get banned, I want Nakamura to participate in FD America, like the US.
He's not allowed. They refused his license. He's not allowed. He's
Oh,
banned.
I see. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Why is he not allowed?
They refused his petition off the back of the fact that D1 banned him for street drifting, and they've said that he's not welcome.
But D1 has him now.
No, I know, but he's still been told that he's not welcome in FD.
I've had this
My
argument
understanding is this is a long-standing ban that's not going to get overturned, and he's basically just gone, well, all right, then I don't want to go there. I can see Nakamura in DMEC. Genuinely.
Shit, man.
Also, didn't
I don't know why FD overturns that. I mean, LZ's straight drifted.
Burn out in bits and shit.
Wait, let's hear the.
We already know the answer, so it...
Yep.
The winner is.
It's a win-win for everybody, but it's a win.
They're gonna give it to Matt Field and it's gonna shock the world.
That's how we do. Your winner here at Road
Some Deanda shit. The winner is sponsored by Falcon Tires.
Falcon Tire vehicle.
Oh, you called it. He did it straight away.
The V8 under the hood is one of two frenemies, and the winner is unanimous.
Fucking
there
hate his commentary. Jesus Christ.
There we go.
And Matt Field.
Right, anyway, back to the previous
Can we get some
comment
actual
on Nakamura.
commentary talent?
FD have refused his license because of street drifting.
Well, I think that was the
Wonder what
original
they think
argument,
about
because
LZ.
it's not
Okay,
because
I
he
was
refused
just
his
about
license
to
because of
say
street
that.
drifting. I think it's because he had his professional license taken away by D1 because of street drifting. So effectively they said, well, if another organisation has banned you, then that's a blanket ban.
That's ridiculous.
But now that D1 has lifted that ban on him, he might, if he chose to do it now, he probably could.
I don't know if he'd choose to, but if you're Naoki Nakamura and you drive on your B knuckle and you take a look at FD as it sits right now, you tell me if you think that it's worthwhile going to your sponsors and saying, look, I need 350 million yen in order to go and compete in this.
No, but
I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm gonna do it was very fun watching.
Take it easy, Josh. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Catch you later, boys.
Did I just hear a Haley?
Day,
Yes, I did.
There was some shit decisions that I really scratched my head at, but this was made up for.
Yeah,
My
this was good
biggest
fun.
highlight's Jeff Jones, like going through the top four and fucking frenemies in the finals.
Yeah, that was
that's
good.
the pinnacle of this round.
Let's go run some doors.
Can't wait for
Oh, you
fucking
did,
Orlando.
you
because that's
did
my favourite
legitimately
one.
change my name.
So
Can we
catch you
just...
all later.
See you in a bit, Josh.
Take it easy,
we just
Josh.
all-
Have a good weekend.
Can we all acknowledge the fact that Chris Ennis is still here?
Chris Ennis must be asleep.
Most likely.
So what are your guys' opinions on Odie winning?
He definitely, it's the right call based on that battle, because that was definitely a straighten from Matt Field. But I think that realistically, it's all to the letters of the rules. Like, that's the problem. Is that entire battle was not a battle. It was a technical standpoint face-off between two sides of the rules, and we were robbed of a really good competition by a bad moment in the first run.
It sucked. I really thought Matt Field had it.
Yeah, except for that straighten. He had it except for that transition. Coming through the transition, he didn't send it hard enough because Odie was on a different line to everyone else. To hell with you. Take it easy, man. Thanks for coming along. See you next time. It was just a weird... I don't know. I feel robbed because although I like the result in terms of I know that that is one of the times when you look at it and you go, right, FD stuck to the rules there. I feel like that final was something that should have been amazing, and we got robbed of something that should have been amazing. And Field's chase was phenomenal, except for the glaring massive mistake.
It's
Tonight
not
really
D1
turned-
ruling. Let's just focus on the fact that it's not D1 ruling and that we weren't getting mad at every single score that was being given out.
What were you going to say, Haley?
Yeah, tonight really turned around. Like, the beginning,
Oh, man.
honestly, like, 32 was fucking bullshit.
And even
But, like,
16 had
16
moments when
and
I
on
wanted to
was
lose
really
my
good.
mind.
Yeah. It really did turn into a really good night. I really said Carney didn't make it as far as I wanted him to, but I'm so happy for Jeff Jones.
Jeff Jones deserved that. Like, I almost think that Jeff Jones deserved... I feel like Jeff Jones deserved a chance at a podium. I feel like going back to this no third, fourth playoff, if you're going to get rid of an extra day of practice and you're going to make sure that qualifying's on the same day and you're going to shorten the event in other areas, you can give us back the third, fourth playoff. Start 10 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier for the top 16. Like, it's not hard to get that so that it comes back again.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm going to just shut the stream off, guys. We might do some drifting. If we do, I'll put it back up. But thanks, everyone who came along and watched with us. We appreciate your opinions, and hopefully we'll see you next time when there's a more consistently excellent event all the way through. Right, I'll finish off. I mean, I'm just...